What's up, party people? We are back with a brand new edition. Excuse me. I'm drinking tea today because just so you know, want to see the power of manifesting? Look at that. Healed my neck in one fucking day, bitches. Yeah, neck is healed. Now, I pulled some kind of muscle here that hurts when I cough, and move. But that's all right. I'm going to heal that shit too. Hey, girly pop pop. Okay, so, I didn't even introduce myself. Hey, Sarah Elizabeth, girlfriend. My name's Jen. I'm your manifestation bestie, where I teach you how to leverage the law of assumption to work in your favor. I obviously know that sounds good to you, so click that follow button, subscribe button, wherever you're watching from. I go live every day at 10 o'clock Pacific time. If you ever miss a live, it's always posted on the tube of the U, so head on over there, subscribe while you're there. Watch the lives. Learn some things, okay? Which we're going to talk in a minute. Because if you ever think you're going to come for me, I'm sorry, but you're never going to do that, okay? This is my platform. Anyway, also, if you're interested in having me manifest your SP for you, you want one-on-one coaching with me to figure out where you're going wrong so you can get it right, all links are in the bio. I got text coaching, email coaching. No, not email coaching. It's a lie. WhatsApp group. I have guided meditation, hypnosis audios, all the thing. All right? So I got whatever your pleasure. Thanks, just Nikki girlfriend. Now, let's address the elephant in the room real quick. If you have been approached by anybody that used to be a part of my team that is no longer with us, please, for the love of Christ, just use this. That's all. Just use this. Okay? Because I manifested my SP back from no contact to living with me. The people that work with me now, that are part of my team now, all have their SPs. Okay? The ones that are trying to go against me are the ones that, don't. And are now trying to tell you to just decide. But the reality is, if they could just decide, then they'd have their SPs too, wouldn't they? Just saying. So obviously what I teach works. I have oodles and oodles and oodles of people that will attest to that. So let's use our little brains here and realize that we should probably only take advice from people who, have what you are trying to obtain. That's the problem with the community, is that people are constantly trying to teach on something they have not successfully done themselves. And unfortunately, a lot of us, I was one of them too, we fall for it. And so but that's why I'm here. I'm here to teach you guys to filter out the noise and to understand what's real and what's not real, and when people are full of shit and when they're not. Okay? Okie dokie. Yeah, Casper. What? Yes, that's plenty, my friend. It's plenty. Okay, advice. Now that I'm done ranting, don't get it confused. I'm a master at this shit, so don't come for me. Anyway, advice on how to overcome. And I had a really good morning this morning. Can we talk about that? I had a really good morning this morning. So I hope all of you guys had a very blessed morning this morning. We're going to talk about a couple things when it comes to you and your SPs. Okay? Advice on how to overcome a really heavy old story with SP, like the thoughts of it. Yeah, Jessica. So it doesn't serve you a benefit. And that's what you have to realize is, like, in any relationship in the world, right? In any relationship you've ever been in, you're going to have arguments. Thanks, Shanzy girlfriend. You're going to have arguments, right? You're going to have disagreements. You're going to have an old story with anybody. But what does it benefit you by thinking about that part of your story? Because you have a story with your SP, right? We all do. But if you're focusing on only the bad shit in your old story, that's not serving you a positive benefit. That's part of the problem. This is part of the problem of what led to your breakup, is because you're not dropping the old shit. So over time, it compounds, right? It's like negative emotions. So when you experience anger, because you don't have the technique to release the anger, it compounds over time. Next time you feel angry, it's like putting a rock in a backpack. So every time you experience that emotion, it's like throwing another rock in the backpack. So therefore, this is why people will lash out and have unwarranted anger when in hindsight, it really wasn't that big of a deal, right? This is where road rage comes from, and so forth, because you're letting it compound. So in your relationships, every time you argued, every time you had a disagreement, every time they said something you didn't like, you did not work through it and let it go. So instead, it just carried on over and over and over again. And your assumption of your SP changed over time, but it amplified. Okay. It amplified. So this is why the old story seems to be like the problems in it seem to be really thick, because at some point in time, we get used to only thinking about the negative shit in your relationship versus like, why don't you think about the positive stuff in your relationship? Because the reality is this, you have to think logically speaking. Logically speaking, if your old story was that bad, why would you want them back? Why not somebody new? So and you have to think that way. So it's like, okay, so then what am I benefiting by holding on to the old story? Because that's not the version of my SP that I want back. That's not the stuff that I want anymore. So why keep thinking about that shit when I can start thinking about the things that I actually want in my relationship? Start thinking of him differently. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't help you. So to overcome the old story, you need to just drop the shit. And instead go into old story, but only pull out the stuff that benefits you, the stuff that they told you. Because like I said, this is where people will be like, be delusional. Be delusional about what? You dated this person. So there's nothing to be delusional about. All you're doing is recalling conversations that you two had together. Those were very much real conversations. They weren't made up. They told you how they felt at one point in time throughout your relationship, about you, about your relationship. You're not making this shit up. So instead of dipping into old story of things that you don't want, because it doesn't make you feel better, hurts your feelings, and nothing in your reality is going to change if you keep holding on to that, you need to start dipping into old story, good edition only, and pull out all the things and go down memory lane of all the amazing things that you had, right? Think about when you have a wedding, right? What are some things what is like one thing that most people show at a wedding? It would be like, it's like a slideshow presentation is what they'll typically show at a wedding, right? Do they go down memory lane and pull out all the fucking times that you guys argued? No, it's all the memories you shared. That's why they're called memories. Okay. So instead of looking at bad memories, you should only be focused on good memories. The ones that make you happy. The ones that if you're going to cry, they're not sad tears. They're tears of happiness, because you're remembering the good qualities of this person, the things that you did have with this person. To me, that's much more beneficial than you thinking about all the fucking shit he talked. Who the hell wants to think about that? Because that would hurt your feelings. That would hurt anybody's feelings. That's a natural reaction if you're only going to think about all the mean things somebody said to you versus being like, I'm going to go and I'm just going to remember all the amazing things they said to me. See what I'm saying? Then it makes you feel better. So that's I hope that helped. I feel like it did. I intend that it did. Because really, there's no strategy to overcome the old story. Can you delete the old story? Sure. Yes, you can. When people do like the personalized hypnosis recording with me, that's the beginning of it. The beginning of it is deleting the old story. Okay, here you guys go. Here you guys go. See, this is where I'm like, maybe we'll do this together. Maybe next week on my live, okay? That's my commitment to you guys, because maybe next week on my live, I will walk you through a technique to drop the old story, okay? To delete the old story, okay? It's a very brief technique. It's not that difficult of a technique for you to erase old story, okay? And maybe that'll be my fucking gift to you next week. So you guys, I'll help you out to drop the shit. Okay? Always over delivering around this bitch. Jillian, hi. I was doing very good and had some movement, but now it went away. Why does this happen? Because Jillian, the reason this happens is it happens because you are wavering in your thoughts about there's a couple reasons. Either you're wavering in your thoughts about your SP, or they break a new pattern and you revert back to old history. Okay. So, it's like it's like you guys were in no contact, then all of a sudden they break no contact. Now you guys are talking, right? And it's you're talking every once in a while, but then all of a sudden, in one hot second, you go from talking daily to, a couple times a day to where you don't hear from them for like all day, right? And so it's like the afternoon, you usually have talked in the morning, you don't hear from them, and all of a sudden you start to change your thoughts, where you'll be like, okay, I haven't talked to him. Why hasn't he messaged me today? Like, are we okay? Like, is he pulling back? Because you're going based on history with this person. But when things like that happen, this is where I'm telling you guys, this is your opportunity to break old pattern. You'll know if this is a pattern that's already been created, because the second they do something and you're thinking, they did this before, this happened before, that's pattern. That's the pattern that's arising. So that's when, if you ever find yourself saying, they've done this before, this has happened before, then that's the pattern you need to break. Every time those things come up, if they've done this before, that is a pattern. So I need to break the pattern. So instead of getting your panties in a little bunch because you haven't heard from them and filtering your thoughts, then instead you go, okay, no, we talk all day, every day. Like, he's going to contact me right now. Like, literally, he can't wait to talk to me today. Right? So now you have broken pattern. So then when they message you, then you're like, okay, great. Now we recreate new patterns, right? You want to break the old cycle, but recreate new patterns. And oftentimes you will get hot and cold behavior I try to set you bitches up for success. Okay. You have to know when they come back that you will oftentimes get hot and cold behavior. Bits and pieces of old, bits and pieces of new. But it's easy to persist in perfect boyfriend when the new version comes up. But what about when the old one rears its head? Then all of a sudden you're dipping back into old you and selecting old version. It's not about only selecting new version of SP. It's about consistently selecting the version of yourself that you want to be. Okay. For your SP too, and for yourself in general. But you persist forward. Because you can see the turnaround. They're turning around all the time. At first, yeah, it seems like a little bit of I won't say, lack of better terms, a job, but at first it requires a little bit more effort when they come back around. It requires a little bit more effort because you have to break the patterns. You have to do things differently. Okay. But if you're looking at, and the only other reason this happens is because we also take everything fucking personal. Or we overanalyze shit. So it'll be like you go to meet up with your SP and like you're analyzing the hug. Like, yeah, I was expecting, he gave me a hug, but it wasn't like the same. I was expecting a little bit more. So now you're tainting your thoughts about him because of the way he hugged you. I've heard this, right? Things like that. On top of that, we think we can do whatever the fuck we want and it's not okay for them. That's not reality, And so that would be the only reason why it turns around. But you can turn it back around, like today. Just do what you were doing and persist forward. Just persist forward. You will see the full turnaround. Kitty cat girl, I was on a call right before this shit, okay? I will call you today, bitch. Just a question. Flashy, ask away. Can your inner conversations somewhat mimic every day? Yes, 1,000%. 1,000%. I have a lot of the same inner conversations. They're just not word for word verbatim. But most of my inner conversations every day are the same. They're the same. Right. And I'll hear certain things in my mind. As well. But it's usually the same. Like say 3 or 4 things. Because I like to keep my shit simple. Hey, Haley girlfriend. Hey, Shanzi. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Lisa with the butterfly. Hey to everyone who has cursive in their fucking name because I hate cursive. I can't use cursive, so that's probably just me. How long do you manifest for the manifest for me? Right now, there is no cap on it. Okay. Right now, Evelina, there's no cap on it. So a lot of people do sell increments of time. Right now, I do not. Well, one, because it would be a nightmare for me in the current second. That require organization on my part. But we will eventually put a cap on it, like for 30 days, every 30 days type thing. But right now there's not a time on it. So, I mean, some people I've been working with for well over 30 days. It's not a big deal. And then then at some point, like kitty cat, then we will hop on a call to find out if there's some kind of blockage going on. Then we hop on a quick call to find out what that is, right? So I don't just be like, okay, thank you for your stuff and sayonara. I don't do that. And then I walk you through movement, because my job is to get you the initial movement, but then walk you through how to keep that movement so that it keeps going. And then I move on to the next step while you keep that movement going. Because it's really stupid for me to tell your SP to freaking contact you for 60 days if you're already talking. That's fucking dumb. Yeah, so for 4 years, and you manifested him, and I manifested him cheating. I know I created it, but how to get rid of the thoughts of it? I'm upset. I'm not upset over it though. Yeah, so the way you get over the thoughts about it is if those thoughts come up, you have to flip the thought. So instead, it's like, no, he's loyal and committed to me and only me, right? There is no one else. No one compares to me. Tell yourself that type of stuff instead if that thought comes up regarding old story of infidelity. Because, I mean, that's a common thing. But again, moving forward, though, you will recreate gutter trash. It doesn't have to be the same gutter trash. It could be somebody whole ass new. You will recreate gutter trash if you breathe life into cheating, right? You can't select cheater edition. You need to select loyal, faithful edition. But just flip that thought. Whenever that thought comes up, be like, no one compares to me. Like, he's completely faithful to me. Okay. So that you can dead that thought. When you say tell SP what to do in your mind, do you mean just a picture method or visualization? No. So you guys have to realize telling your SP what to do, when we do the photo method, that's focused. Okay. That's direct, where you're looking at your SP, or if you're visualizing your SP, that's direct thought transmission, where you're doing it with intention. Okay. But when you're telling your SP what to do, you're always telling your SP what to do. You're always telling your SP what to do in your inner conversations, in the words coming out of your mouth, and the thoughts that you're having. Those are passed on to them. Always. Always. So when you're, I could literally walk around. Okay. So I can sit there and walk around and be like, in my mind, not visualizing nothing, and just being like, he's going to tell me exactly what I want to hear. They're going to tell me exactly what I want to hear. Exactly what I want to hear. And then that day they tell me exactly what I want to hear, because they overheard my thoughts of telling me exactly what I want to hear, right? Even though in his mind, he wasn't like, I think someone's telling me to tell them exactly what I want to hear. He just gets the thoughts to tell me about his feelings towards me or something like that, because that's what I was telling myself. Okay. So the thought, he's always receiving your thoughts. The photo method is just to more like if you will, like a command basis, if you will. But they're always hearing your thoughts. So that's why if you're doing the photo method, but throughout the day, you're going against it, that's why it's not working. Okay. Because you can't tell them you're coming to see me today, but then in actuality, you don't think they're going to come and fucking see you because they haven't came to see you in a while. Hold on, let me mute my fucking speaker. There we go. Okay, so that's contradicting yourself. Okay, so you can tell them all day long, you're coming to see me today, you're coming to see me today, you're coming to see me today. But if in your mind, you're questioning if they're actually going to come see you today, you don't think they are, they literally can't. Doesn't matter if you told them that. Right. Same with if you're using the photo method saying you're texting me today, you're texting me today. If you don't think that they actually will text you today, they are not. They're not, because you're going against what you want them to do. You're coming from a place of wanting them to do something, but not thinking that they actually would. Okay. Or coming up with all of these scenarios in your mind about why they wouldn't. Okay, which is why there was somebody that was trying to get that hasn't seen their boyfriend in 10 months. You can tell them all day long that they're coming to see you, but if every waking hour outside of that, you're over here making up excuses on why they can't come see you and all these justifications in your mind, and you don't actually think they're going to come see you, they literally can't. They literally can't. So then you're over here like, well, it doesn't work. Yeah, it does. It does work, because they're hearing your thoughts all the time. So even though you're telling them to come see you, what they're hearing is, I'm busy. I have other things to do. Right? Which is why I say it's really silly that if they say they're going to come see you, to be like, but are they really? I'm not sure if they are. They said they are, but what do you mean, but? Then take them at their word. I never questioned if he was going to come see me when he said he was going to come see me. He always did. Because I never questioned that shit. But the minute you question it, then you're like, ugh. Because then you beat yourself up at the same time, because they said they were going to come see you. You were like, okay, great. Got excited momentarily. And then the closer it came, all you did was look at that clock and be like, are they really going to come though? Because it's now 4:00. Well, they didn't confirm like it's a fucking doctor appointment that they're coming to. They didn't confirm. So are they really going to come? And then all of a sudden you get a little ring-a-ding-ding. They're like, hey, sorry, hun, something came up, or I'm going out with my friends. And then you're all in your fucking shit about it. But if you wouldn't have questioned it, they would have came every time. Shazdama. Do I have to visualize while affirming? No. What up, son? No, you do not. You do not. Visualizing while affirming? No. You do not. Can you visualize? So, if I was going to visualize, it would be visualizing a scene. It would be visualizing a short scene. Okay. Implying that they're doing what you want them to do. So I tell people you could at night before you go to bed is sit there and visualize in your mind a 5-second scene of you two spending time together. What is something that you guys did all the time together? Or you can visualize them showing up at your door with flowers, or just visualize you and your SP having a super warm, loving embrace. I'm not a huge visualizer, so I'm not one that's going to visualize this whole drawn out ass scene. Plus, the subconscious mind goes off of repetition. Everything goes off of repetition. So therefore, if you're playing this long scene, visualization scene, you're only playing it one time. Versus if you were to play a 5-second scene and loop the shit over and over and over again in an hour, or not an hour. See, I would never do that for an hour. In a couple minutes, you visualize the same scene 40 times. Okay. So and then if you did that every night for just a couple minutes, then that's good, because the subconscious mind operates off of picture, sounds, and feelings. Okay. Now, no, feelings have nothing to do with manifestation. But do they amplify it if you get excited? Yeah, because it makes it real for you. That's the only reason why, your negative emotions are not going to affect your manifestation. So don't get it confused of what I'm saying. Okay. However, if you're having an inner conversation, or you're saying affirmations, right? And you get excited about the shit where you're like, damn right. Mm-hmm. He is always calling and texting me, literally, he's obsessed with me. Jesus Christ. And you're channeling the feeling of that, because what that is it's true for you. Okay. It's the stupidest saying when you go to your wedding that you're just going to be completely neutral emotionally. You're not. As it leads up to your wedding, right? You start to get excited. Even you're excited when you go anywhere. When you're going out when it's your birthday, you're excited, right? Things like that, which makes the day better. So it's the same thing is when you have those feelings, when you channel those feelings, like you're listening, because I'm an auditory person, mostly. So it's like if you're listening to their voice and them telling you the things that they've told you, and you get excited about it, and you're just like, yes, that's real to you. Because how would you feel right now if your honey was confessing their love to you and telling you everything they wanted to tell you? Everything you wanted to hear, they were just telling you all about how they felt about you. How would you honestly feel in that moment? I don't think you'd be like, oh, that's cool. I don't think it'd be your attitude, right? Your attitude would be like, oh my fucking God, yes. Right? It's like when you have the best night ever with your SP and they leave the next day or whatever, and you're just like, right? It's that type that adds validity to what you're experiencing versus you guys stressed out and sad and moping and groping all fucking day long. Instead, I'd rather be like, I guess this is the act as if part, right? Where it's like, act as if the shit is true for you. That's what you need to be acting as if this is true for you. Like, yes, he is the best boyfriend. I am one fucking lucky ass woman to have such an amazing man. Like, hell yeah. We just spent the most amazing night together. Like, you're in those like feel fucking good vibes. You're just like, hell yeah. And oftentimes what do you do when you get good news, right? You start skipping around the fucking house, like skip to Lou, my darling. You put on music and you're just like in a whole different mood because everything seems to be going good for you. That's the same energy or feelings that you should be trying to channel when thinking about your SPs, because that's real for you. Just like when they broke your heart, and you very much channeled those feelings. Because here's the thing. Here's what a lot of people are saying. Because you have to think logically speaking, how do we leverage, right? If we know that everyone's attracted to your energy, SP, and everybody else, well, what energy are you putting out there? This is why when you're on the phone with SP in the past, or you're texting with your SP, or maybe you're in person with your SP, right? And they'll be like, what's wrong? You'll be like, nothing. And they're like, okay. They can tell something's wrong. It's the energy you're putting off. Okay. And so if they can feel your energy, what energy do you want them to feel? Sad, desperation, lack, wanting, needing. Or do you want them to feel happy, excitement, loving energy? If they're feeling your energy, I would take that into consideration. Because I did. I certainly was not moping around while I was affirming. No. I moped around while I listened to law of attraction fucking shit. With pink beams of light coming from me to my SP on the top of a mountainside hill across the valley. But I wasn't moping when I was doing my affirmations. I was like, as if they're true. And was I doing that with the intention of that? No. But if I think back, because I'm here to teach you what I learned, right? Or what I did. If I think back about when I was affirming, that's exactly what I did. I was not affirming while crying all day long. Did I affirm through the tears one time? Yes. But I wasn't moping and groping around. I wasn't. I was going on with my life. I was walking and had pep to the step, and I was walking and, okay, let's not lie to ourselves. I was not taking care of myself, trying to get fucking fit. Because apparently I have short legs. So when people walk fast, I have to run. Like literally, people will walk and I'm just like I'm like jogging and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, you're walking too fast. And so it takes me like 3 hours to walk 20,000 steps. That's how fast of a walker I am not. And you know what? I'm okay with that because I will live my life very fine, very fine. Not running a triathlon ever in my life. No regrets. Poor times. Can you please tell us again how you made him wear a yellow shirt? All I did was tell myself, he's going to wear a yellow shirt today. Yep, he's wearing a yellow shirt today. I literally said it like 2-3 times. That's it. I didn't affirm. I affirmed it like 3 times and went about my day, and then laughed my ass off when he came walking out of his place with a yellow shirt on. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit. Okay. And then I was like, that's where I was like, oh, okay. If I can get somebody to change, thought transmission is obviously real. If I can get them to wear a different color shirt, then I can 1000% get them to fucking text me. What's the difference? There's no difference. Fuck no, Mina. It was not. We would have broken up a long ass time ago. She said, was it a Lakers shirt? Hell no. It was an Adidas shirt. But I've had lots of people do that. I think it's what makes it fun, because you're just like, well, okay then. Okay, game on. And that's all you need is one thing. If you would literally, you guys should be doing this because it steps you into the assumption that you can manifest anything. I don't care how stupid it sounds, right? Because some people be like, don't manifest a butterfly. That's dumb as shit. Maybe. They're like, when you can manifest the things that you want. I understand the logic there. However, if you could literally be like, wow, I haven't seen like a, blue car in a while. And all of a sudden, or you're like, I'm going to see a blue car today, or I'm going to hit all green lights today. And then all of a sudden that happens for you. What that does psychology wise is tells you, okay, this shit is real. I could do this. I can totally do this. Just if I could do that, why can't I do this? And it equals the playing field. Because right now, a lot of people, to get a text seems like fucking a daunting task, right? It seems like it's out of the realm of possibility for a lot. But if you could sit there and just randomly think about something, have fun with it, like, I'm going to hit all green lights today. I'm not going to sit in traffic today. Any of that stuff. One of my coworkers is going to wear a red shirt today. My boss is going to wear a red shirt today. Any of that stupid little shit. I'm going to see a giraffe today. Any of those things, the minute that's brought into your awareness, this text up here that seems out of the realm of possibility at the current second, you have now equaled that playing field, because then you're just like, okay, so if I could do this, I can do this. There's no difference. It's not like, well, to do a giraffe, here's the strategy there. But, in a text, no. There's a whole nother framework involved. No, it's the same shit. And it will be brought into your awareness. So it's like saying that you're going to manifest a mermaid today, right? Obviously, you're not going to be driving down the road and a mermaid's going to pop out of the fucking ocean. I mean, that's possible. But what will happen is you could see a mermaid on a billboard. You could see a mermaid in like a stuffed animal in the window somewhere. You could be scrolling on social media and see somebody's comment on a video that's a mermaid emoji. Like somehow you will see what it is that you're looking for, or so what you said. It will be brought to you. You won't even think about it again. And then all of a sudden you will remember that because it will be brought into your awareness. And that little mermaid comment that you would have at one time probably scrolled past and never thought about it again, all of a sudden that comment you now notice because it was brought into your conscious awareness. That's what these things are, okay? Which is why a lot of you guys will get frustrated when you're doing the photo method. You're like, it's not working. And like I asked somebody earlier today, I said, well, let me ask you this. If I was to ask you, do you know he's going to text you today? What would your honest answer be? Well, that's why it's not working. That's why it's not working. Because you're coming from a place of wanting them to, but not knowing they would. And I guess that's the only part you need to be delusional about, is knowing they would. Because you're seeing only the version of your SP that would. That would. And you don't have to go walk around town doing all that shit. Like, you don't have to do that. You just have to stay the path and not overthink it, not overanalyze it. But you guys, when you guys start overanalyzing, overthinking everything, and I get it. I get it. Because that was me, right? We want something, and if we don't see something happen immediately, then we're like, something's wrong. I need to go watch another video. Let me go learn, let me go find this out. Oh, they said this. Okay, maybe that's what I need to do. Okay. Oh, this person said this. Maybe that's what I need to do. And now before you know it, you're so fucking confused because this person said this, this person said this, this person said this. Which one do I do? Fuck it. I may as well do them all. And now you're all stressed out, right? Because that's how I was. I was like, when I was doing law of attraction, I was like, well, which one's better? I don't know. So I may as well just fucking do them all. Let me do this text one didn't work, but maybe this one will. Okay, well, let me just watch 10 of them. Fuck it, one of them's gotta work. One of them's gotta work. No. Because it's not ever the techniques. There is no technique to manifesting. Sorry. It's not about the technique. It's about you just doing it. Like I said yesterday, same way you just did it to cause your breakup. You were just being. You weren't trying. You weren't over here looking up endless YouTube videos and watching endless TikTok channels on how can I fuck up my relationship. Oh my God, what's the newest technique to fuck this shit up? Oh, they said to do this. Okay, cool. How do I manifest the breakup? How do I speed this shit up? Were you guys doing any of that? No. There's only one reason why you guys come across manifesting an SP back. Because you're trying to manifest it, because either your relationship is on the rocks and you're smart and got ahead of the game, or you're not with your SP at the current second. Okay, there's only two reasons that happens, right? And no one has a perfect marriage and is like, I think we need marriage counseling. It's not usually how it goes, right? So but you weren't trying. That's my whole point. Is I keep telling you guys, I want you guys to stop trying. Just stop trying. Because you never had to try before. And yet this is the sucky part to admit to ourselves. You never tried before. And yet you got your exact manifestation. It played out perfectly. Not the way you wanted it to. It wasn't what you wanted. But you got it. You didn't have to wait for it, did you? Mm-mm. And it played out exactly how you wanted it to, even though you didn't want it to be that way. So that's where we reverse engineer, and that's where we leverage what we know. Okay, I didn't try before, so fuck that. I'm not trying now. I'm gonna do it just like I did before. All I did was think. Didn't try. No suffocation needed. No 55 techniques. I didn't drink no magic glass of fucking water. Oh, I have to go back in my mind palace. I'll probably do that when you guys do the photo method today. I came up with, I told you we were going to leverage the full moon tonight. Why is it cloudy where I live during the full moon? I hate when I used to be into the full moon and manifesting in the full moon. Man, let me tell you, I used to get so fucking bent out of shape. I used to get so bent out of shape when I wake up like, it's full moon day, it's full moon day. And then you go outside, you're like, the fuck, it's cloudy. Does my water still charge through the clouds? What? They don't explain that shit. Have you ever noticed they don't explain a lot of this shit? What if it's cloudy, bitch? Do my crystals still charge? That you didn't say. You didn't say. You didn't say. That's why I always see in these videos where they'll be like, what do I do with the paper when we're done? You didn't say what to do with it. Always leaving some shit out. Always leaving some shit out. So you ended up keeping them because I was like, is it bad if I throw it away? If I throw it away, what does that do? If I throw it away? Then they're like, bury it in the ground. I'm like, my neighbors are going to be like, what in the... what the fuck does she keep burying shit in the ground for? And eventually, I would have liked to think people are like me. Eventually, they're going to get curious and then go dig. Right? Because I would get curious if I kept seeing somebody bury some shit. I'm like, are they burying a body? What are they burying? And then they're going to go get curious and they're going to come and see now I'm going to look like a wacko and I'm going to be the water cooler talk of the neighborhood. They're going to be like, we uncovered like a gang of fucking papers with like circles around names. Oh man. That's how my mind works. That's how my mind operates. They're going to judge me, maybe because I'm judgmental sometimes. I already answered Jillian's question. Look, if you guys are going to ask a question and then you guys are going to dip out the live and then come back and ask the question again and then dip out the live and then come back and ask the question again, that's fucking annoying. Because next time I'm going to be like, look, this is the 5th time you've asked the question. Now you have to go watch the replay. How else am I supposed to get my watch hours up? Look, you guys can say whatever you want, but the one thing you'll never take away from me is honesty. Well, and integrity. And ethics. It's quite a bit you can't take away from me. Hi, I asked once, but asking again for the Manifest For You service. I thought no one can manifest for you. That would 1000%, Desiree, not be true. Okay. So I have manifest for several people without intentionally. Ooh, look at that. Love that. I have intentionally manifested for people without I have unintentionally manifested for people without realizing I'm doing it, if that made any fucking sense. So like I give the story all the time, my brother, right? My brother was in a very dark place. He's a grown man. Okay. He's 40, but, we were helping him out because we wanted him to live close to us. And so, but where we live, it's a little bit more of a pricey area in the county. And so we agreed to pay for a fair amount of his living expenses. Well, over time, my mom was like, no, I don't think we should do that anymore. So we decided to encourage him at 40 to start paying his own bills. But he couldn't live here if he did that. And so he panicked. He started panicking. And he was really on this mental spiral, downward. And he was like, my mental health is being affected. And he's like, I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm going to sleep. He has a Mercedes, which doesn't look like the most comfy car to sleep in. And he's like, I'm going to be homeless. I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. I can't do this, blah, 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 right? All these things. And so my clients would know because I'm an open book, okay? There's nothing you're going to find out about me that if you wouldn't have just asked me, I would have told your ass. And so I was telling them about it and nothing was changing, right? So finally I decided to tell a different story. And I finally was like, you know what? I said, one thing I know about my brother is this is for the first time that he's going to be able to stand on his own. I was like, and he is going to thrive from this. He's going to come out of this such a stronger person and feeling so much more accomplished in his life because he was able to do this himself. Like he's paying all his own bills. What more reward, satisfaction is there in that? I was like, so he's going to come out just all the way around in a better position. So nothing changed. His career, nothing changed. Yet all of a sudden my brother went from a 1-bedroom apartment to living in a 2-bedroom apartment, nicer place than he was living in before. 2-bedroom apartment. He's paying all his own bills on his own. He has season passes to Disneyland, which if you don't know how much those things, they're like $1,000, $1,300 a piece for Disneyland for him and his son. He was able to take his son on a 10-day Disney. Yes, we do this. We live 20 minutes from Disneyland and yet we go to vacation at Disney World. It is not the same at all. And so then he went on a 10-day Disney World vacation with his son. He has money and savings, all of this, and nothing changed. No, it's not like this guy went and got a whole brand new better job. None of this. His income stayed the same, yet his entire living situation changed because I changed his story. I told a different story. And so because of that, his reality shifted to match the story. Okay. So then I started manifesting. Before even offering it, I started manifesting for other people's SPs. I've done it here on the live several times before where I'm like, what are you talking about? Because they're like, Jen, I'm freaking out. He hasn't texted me today. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's texting you right now. And literally 2 comments later, she's like, holy shit, he just texted me. Right? It's not that difficult to manifest for someone else because you are always manifesting for someone else. You're either manifesting something different for them or you are manifesting for their situation to stay the same. This is why I tell you guys when people are talking to you about they're going through depression or dark times or their mental health is shit or whatever, that you have the power to change that. You have the power to change all of that by telling a different story. They can't mentally improve. Their mental health cannot improve if you keep acknowledging it. It can't. Because all you do is justify their behavior based on their situation. So because of that, no. But you're always manifesting for other people. You're constantly, because everyone's in your reality. Okay? So therefore, their problems are their problems in their reality, but now they're affecting your reality because you're allowing them to. So there's numerous things I've manifested for other people, without trying, if you will. Thank you, Desiree, for clarifying that you were genuinely asking. Hey, Martha, sister. Hey, Brandy. Oh, you know what? That reminds me, since Brandy's name popped up, I'm going to start doing a little kudoing on here because I think that, hey, Elena, girlfriend, looking forward to our call today, sister. I thought that it would be, I wouldn't say nice, if you will, but I thought, hold on. I'm sure he did, Flashy. Flashy, he's coming. Flashy, here's your job. Bring this man to your door. Bring this man to your door. He's literally, okay, so like, Flashy, let's think logically speaking here. Logically speaking, Flashy. He talks to you all the time, okay? Now he's coming to your property multiple times, driving by your place. I think it's time that his truck fucking right up in the driveway to your door. He's literally going around waiting for you to invite him into your fucking door. Invite him to your door. Do it now. No, he's coming to your door. That's your main focus. But I'm going to kudo a couple people on here. I think that it's nice that I wanted to inspire you guys, right? Is that I'm going to start giving shout outs on here to people who are doing the things right. And it's for all kinds of things, like, so, and I should ask, whatever, like shout out to, we'll start with Brandy. Okay. We'll start with Brandy because Brandy has really evolved and really started stepping into her fucking power. When she does a photo method, she'll do it on the spot for anything that she wants from her SP. And he does it. He's been doing it every time. To the fact where she would be like, you're going to trim your beard. But the relationship between her and hubby was not the same as it is right now. She's literally on the last leg of her manifestation. She's just keeping it going. But what she's done is like she said, she goes, the major thing was how she started seeing him. Right? And going back and getting in touch with herself, like I tell you guys. And the turnaround that she's been experiencing with her husband is like night and day. Because she's stayed the course. She comes and she's like, Jen, this is what's going on. Any advice? I'll give her advice and she's on it. And then boom, that night, everything totally different. And then she persists through it. Oh, what is it that I want tonight? Oh, and then the other thing she started doing is running her relationship differently, putting herself in his shoes. Like I tell you guys, if you guys would start if you guys would start actually listening to what the fuck your SPs say, listening is not listening to listen, not listening to react. Okay. Not listening to respond. Because when you're listening to respond, you're not actually listening to shit. Okay. But she started listening to him. And when you start listening to somebody and then putting yourself in their shoes, what do you start to realize? Yeah, okay, if I would have done that, if you would have done that to me, yeah, I kind of would have been annoyed. So she got where he was coming from now. And so what did she do? She apologized because she understood that, yeah, if he would have done that to her, she would have been annoyed by it. So he's not wrong for feeling this way. She apologized. Did that throw him off guard? Yes. You care to know why? Because she broke pattern. And he noticed it because she didn't react in a way that she would have in the past. So they had a great weekend. That's what this is about. So fucking snaps for Brandy. On top of that, we're at a kudo. We're going to kudo Haley. Haley has been really working on stepping into the knowing, into the assumption that that's her girlfriend. And she's really been working at that. And she contacted me and she says, she said, I've been doing that, but here's the situation. Do you have any feedback? So I gave it to her and she goes, oh my God. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I'm working on that. That's what this is about. Implementing, not trying too hard, but realizing where you're going wrong so that you can fix it and that you can get it right. Okay. She's been really working good on that. And so because of that, they're talking and they're doing all that stuff. And now she's working on the next step. We are together, but she's open to the feedback for it and realizing that, oh, okay, I didn't realize I was doing that because there's a lot of things that we don't realize necessarily that we're doing. And so then she's like, oh, that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to change that. See what I'm saying? So I'm proud of her for that. Okay. And there's so many other people, but every freaking day. Oh, and then of course my girl Flashy. Flashy has been. Nope. Okay. Flashy has been relentless. She's persistent. She has no problem muting things that don't benefit her in her manifestation. Okay? Like, the whining, the crying, the moaning, the fucking groaning, all that stupid shit. She doesn't want to be around that negativity because she's focused on herself. And good for her on that. And because of that, she's persisting forward. And she's getting results. She's getting great. You know what I'm saying? And she's getting consistency. And it's moving forward. It's progressing. That's what this is about. Same with Shanae, my girl Shanae. She's the last one today. I mean, I can go on and fucking on. But Shanae, we had a call yesterday. And things were going left. But we talked, had a strategy to put the reset on her relationship. She hit that reset button and she's like, should I text him? What should I say? I said, okay, yeah. She goes, okay, hold on. On the call, she texted him. Within 30 minutes, texted back. That night, granted, this is why I tell you guys, stop listening what the fuck comes out of their mouth because last night, she was told, get over it. You know exactly what this shit is and it's never going to be anything more than that. Get over it. Like she was told complete opposite, things that you guys don't want to hear, right? No one wants to hear. So she texted him, good morning. After that was the last response. That was the last communication they had the night before. That man came over with flowers. What'd she say? Flowers and snacks for her. The whole bit in less than 24 hours. After being told, there will not be a relationship, bitch. Get over it. So let that inspire you. It doesn't take, because she did what I said to do. And she literally was sending me screenshots. She goes, that's right. She goes, that's right. She goes, I'm back, bitch. I'm back. I was like, yes, that's all it's about. You can't fuck shit up. All you can do is find yourself again and get back. And then hone your queen energy back in. She put her crown back fucking on, straightened that shit up, and then boom, within an hour, response, boom, that night, over with flowers and shit. After she was told the opposite less than 24 hours before that. That's because you don't accept shit in your reality that you don't like. So when people want to sit there and have the audacity, have the audacity after being with me for a while to be like, it doesn't work. Okay. So let that inspire you. And I'm going to, like I said, I can talk about this shit all day long because I have like oodles of people that have made so much freaking progress and all this stuff. And so, you know what? Look at that flashy look. She said she's going to get iced coffee and she see an orange car. That's like the most random color car. And she saw one 15 miles away. This is what you guys need to be doing. Okay. I tell you guys these things because I want it to inspire you because there's nothing that makes them any different than you. Okay. So every day I'm going to start kudoing on here and giving shout outs to those that I feel deserve it because they're making progress. You don't have to have your SP back yet, but you have to be evolving. You have to be doing things differently because you see different results. You see different results when you do things differently. And it's all about when you become a more evolved person too. Because it's one thing to get them back. And many of you are in contact with your SPs. That's where the discipline comes in. A lot more discipline is involved. Given your situation. But you know what? Look, as you guys have clearly seen, I'm normal. I'm normal here. I'm not above anybody. I know what works and what doesn't work, and I have a level of discipline, okay? Because I've had to learn that over time. Because yeah, things have slid back. You know, all of that, okay? And you guys have heard my story, and you all witnessed childish antics on my TikTok 2 days ago. So if I can discipline myself in my circumstances, and my story was some of it a lot more extreme than your guys's, then what the fuck is your problem? A lot of you go digging for shit. I didn't have to go dig for shit. It was right in my face. All the time. So what's your problem? Because you're the one choosing to go get triggered. You're the one choosing to do that stuff. But you know what? I would say if you want to really get it out your system, if you really want to hear, you know what? Here's advice. Here's some advice. I'll probably be the only creator on here to give you this advice. So take it for what you want. I suggest that you intentionally do things that would cause you to be triggered. But don't get triggered. Yeah, you heard it from me. If that means go on your SP social media and go down the social media wagon, you know what? You do that. Except don't get triggered. Because trust me, it's the best gift you can give yourself. I did this because I was petty. Let's be honest, okay? Not social media. But I did things in my 3D because I was petty. I never forced the 3D in any sense of that word. But I would intentionally put myself in situations that would have allowed myself to get triggered numerous times. Well, almost daily, if we're being frank. But I didn't. Because I chose to look at it differently. Like I said, because I was being petty. So I chose to look at it differently. I chose to look at everything as tooting my own horn. Flattery. Somebody's hating on me. It's not my fault I look so damn good. See what I'm talking about? Flattery. An unnecessary comment would be made. Well, yes. I am very relevant in people's minds. Okay, I can't help that I look this good, right? Like, yeah, of course he's obsessed with me. Who the fuck wouldn't be? Like, I know who I am. I know who I am. And I would tell myself that all the time. I know who the fuck I am. You know, he's always calling and texting me. Duh. Why wouldn't he? I'm the only one that brings him peace, right? I had different narratives than what you guys are having. You guys are saying one thing, but your narrative around that statement is not the same. My narrative around each of those statements, like I told you before, is very different. So instead of just saying, it was the attitude I had about it. It wasn't like I was saying this stuff, but it was the attitude. So instead of saying like, no one compares to me, I'd be like, yeah, because bitch, get on my level. It would be that type of attitude that I would have when I would make those kind of statements like, duh, why the fuck not? Instead of, if I say it enough though, I don't believe it. I don't know if I believe this. No, you don't know if you believe that you might that you might fucking go to the moon one day. I understand that. But how you're struggling with believing that somebody's got to fucking text you. Come on. We have to start somewhere on the belief spectrum. We have to start somewhere in the knowing spectrum. Where are you going to start? This is where I laugh at the idiots on here that say, just decide. Well, you let me know how that works out for you. Because I think you've been just deciding for a long time, man. Where are you at with that? Where are you at with that? Has anything changed? Go ahead, I'll wait. I'm sorry, has anything changed yet? Oh no? Still the same? Okay. Come on. If just deciding would be that easy, like I said, if all you needed was to just decide, then guess what? You'd have the career you wanted. You'd have all the money in the fucking world. We'd have no struggle if everyone just had to decide. Okay? Everyone would be with their SPs and have the best relationship in the world because they just decided. We wouldn't have any weight problems in the world, right? Because you just decided everybody would look smoking ass hot. We'd have no old people either, right? No, because everybody would be maybe old in age, but they'd be looking 20. If all you had to do is just decide. And can you just decide? Yes. But you can't just decide. You have to repeatedly just decide until your decision is an assumption. Come on. Because the only way you decide something is true is because you've said it enough. Because you've seen the proof. You've seen somewhat of proof. Or your belief is strong enough that it's easy for you to decide. But it all boils down to the belief. And how do you get the belief? There's different ways. It depends on your scenario. There's things that I have manifested successfully, like my big legal issues I was having in the past. Did I manifest those ways successfully? Yeah. Did I just decide? Yeah, I did. Repeatedly. Every time someone would tell me something that I didn't want to hear, I would just decide. Again, and again, and again, and again, and again. It wasn't like a one-off thing, right? Again, it was repeatedly doing it. So, and I didn't just decide that I could eat tacos and pasta and lose weight. I had to repeatedly do it. So, no, Cece, as much as I would love to take credit, what up to Shay? Oh yeah, and welcome to Mo. She was also another one I was going to give a shout out to, but she'll have to wait till tomorrow. It was all you, girlfriend. It was all you. It was all you. Okay. And that's where you guys, and that's what I'm proud of you guys. I was gonna, because I was so excited. I was so excited to, what's it called? When I saw in the WhatsApp community yesterday that you guys are really leveraging to a whole nother fucking level. And that's what I love, because that's where somebody posted in the group yesterday said, I really like that Jen taught us to leverage what they say. Yes, because they said it. So it's like, you're not making the shit up. You're not thinking and being like, well, I think they think this. No, they actually said it out of their mouth, right? So now you take what they said as feedback. It's not intended to hurt your feelings, not intended to do any of that shit. You take it as feedback only and you say, okay, how can I leverage what they said? Right? I think it was something like, he has never trusted anyone. He has trust issues, right? So she's like, okay, how can I leverage that? No, I'm the only one he trusts. I'm literally the only one he trusts. Of course, take their problems and make it work for you. That's the power. That is the power, baby. Yeah. Oh man, I didn't even sing to you guys yesterday. Damn. Just made up for it today, bitches. All right, now let's answer some questions. I put on my calendar a reminder for July on my birthday that I'm going on a trip with my SP boyfriend. Good. Evelina, good. You should. You should. There's nothing wrong with that. How long does it usually take for it to get to the 3D when you really lock in and have it internally? Jillian, it's not a process on how long. There's no right or wrong, okay? Because you should realistically see movement within within what's it called? You should see, so all manifestation happens instantly, okay? It's very quickly. You should see some kind of movement at least within the first 48 to 72 hours max. If you're truly locked in and you're truly persistent and you're not lying to yourself. But again, what you see is the knowing. So you can tell yourself something, and do you have to believe it and do you have to know it to be true? No, you don't. You have to repeatedly tell yourself something different. But how many times are you repeatedly telling yourself something different to create a new assumption? See, that's the difference there, okay? But then it's like, so there's that. Then the second thing is that you also, because it's the knowing that pushes out. It's the knowing that pushes out. So if you want something very quickly, then you need to lock it in, not waver from it, and just expect it to happen. Okay, because that pushes out. Now, if you don't know or you don't believe, then you have to keep affirming until it becomes an assumption. Then it pushes out. But you have to acknowledge movement, and it should, if you leverage movement correctly, then it should speed it up and should push it out even more, if that makes sense. Okay, Olivia. What the fuck do you mean? I can't lose weight if I'm not in a calorie deficit. Okay, well, first of all, I don't know what a calorie deficit is. I mean, I've heard the term, but I don't know what it is. But that's absolutely not true. This is what the weight loss industry has you to believe. This is what the weight loss has you to believe, is you need to change your behaviors and your environment, right? Change the way you eat. But that's only temporary change. If you want to lose weight, you must change how you identify yourself as. Who are you identifying yourself as? Are you identifying yourself as being overweight, fat, big boned? Just so you know, everybody's bones are the same, in case you didn't know that. Any of that. And I say that with love, because that's what I was identifying myself as fat, because I thought if I called myself fat, no, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. But here's the thing. Here's what the weight loss industry doesn't tell you. But don't worry, Olivia, because I got your back, sis. Okay, here's what the weight loss industry doesn't tell you. What they don't tell you is that your body only answers to one entity, and that is your mind. If your mind stops working, so does your body. That's a fact, Okay. So if your body only takes instruction from your mind, then your mind tells your body what to do. Your body has no idea if what you're eating is a calorie deficit or not. Or not. It has no idea what the fucking calorie is. And either. It has no idea if a donut is good for you or not. It has no idea. The only thing it knows is what you tell yourself, what you have told yourself about the foods that you're eating. So, because it's not like when you go to eat something, your subconscious mind is like, wait a minute. Is this a calorie deficit food item? Exactly how many calories is this? And how many calories are you supposed to be eating? Because I think you're over your calorie intake. So therefore you're not going to lose weight today. That's not yours. That's not, your subconscious mind doesn't know that. You can literally convince your subconscious mind that everything that you eat is a carrot. It takes you at your word. It has no idea. Your body doesn't know. This is why Jared from Subway could eat 2 foot-long Subways. That sounds good now. I want a Subway sandwich. But I digress. It has no idea. This is why Jared could eat 2 foot-long Subway sandwiches every day and lose weight, even though the average person thinks bread you cannot have, because he didn't have that assumption. Okay. Same with me. I was not, you know what assumption I did have is I'm not going to diet for the rest of my life. Because what's the game plan? This is why when people lose weight, they gain it all back because they didn't switch their identities. Okay. And so I didn't want to diet. So I chose not to. Instead, I said, I want to eat whatever the fuck I want. So I started telling myself I could eat whatever I want and I lose weight. Or I would be like, every time I eat tacos, I lose weight. Every time I eat tacos, I lose weight. I didn't have to go around robotically for my life way. Weight loss is not that hard. Weight loss is actually very easy to change your assumptions because you're not going around all day long thinking that this donut is fattening for you, right? You're not doing that. So you can literally be like, everything that I eat is a carrot. Everything that I eat is a carrot. And your body will respond accordingly. It has no idea. So I know this because I lost over 100 pounds in 11 months, no diet, no exercise. And I can eat my people know I can eat 7 tacos. Doesn't matter the time of day and lose weight every time because I firmly believe that I lose weight every time I eat tacos and pasta. In fact, I've declared the amount, half a pound, and it is true every single time. So you control the scale too. You can sit there and tell yourself before you go to bed that you're going to wake up 1 pound lighter. That will be true for you. Yeah. I done it, girl. I done it. But this is why the weight loss industry won't tell you this, because if they did, you wouldn't need them. And they wouldn't be able to take all your money for many, 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 many years. Just like the GLP-1 shot. Don't even get me fucking started on that shit. Because all the GLP-1 shot is, do you want to know what that is? One big giant placebo. That's all it is, a placebo. If you think the GLP-1 shot is going to work for you, it will. If you don't, it won't. It's so retarded. It's so fucking retarded. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to go be nauseously sick for a month while I'm taking the shot. No, thank you. And then, like I said, what's the game plan? You gonna take the shot for the rest of your life? You know, I'd rather spend $100 on something else. Like food. I think my SP isn't conforming because I think I'm too good for them, but I still want them. Why would that stop them from coming to me when they know I want them? Okay, first of all, you're making we do not want to create assumptions, bloody sad, that aren't going to benefit you. So by you saying that you think your SP isn't conforming because I think I'm too good for them, so the reason they wouldn't be conforming is exactly that, because it's the opposite of that, right? So you think you're too good for them, which means that they think what? They're not good enough for you. That's why they won't conform. I've had a lot of people be told that when actually they were being broken up with is, I'm just not good enough for you. Well, that's why they're breaking up with them, because they don't feel like they're good enough for them. So because of that, that's exactly why he won't conform, because it's the opposite of you feeling. It's one thing to think that you're too good for them, but they're now thinking they're too good for you. Because here's the thing is, it would have to depend on where this is coming from. So like, you could think you're a bad bitch, right? I could be like, look, I'm the baddest bitch. Okay. Like, I know who I am as a woman. I know what kind of girlfriend I am. I know I'm irreplaceable. I'm a once in a lifetime bitch. That's what I am. And I do believe that. Okay. So I could believe that about me, meaning that I'm like a good woman. I'm the best woman anybody will have, actually, to be quite frank. But that's because I know how to treat a man. I know how to behave, and how to, be normal. But it's one thing for you to think that way. And it's another thing for you to be, because the only reason why you would think you're too good for someone is because you're doing nothing but bitching about everything that they're not doing for you, who they are not being for you, all of that stuff. So you're complaining about them over and over and over in your head about all the things that you want him to be doing, he's not doing, and how this, that, and the third, you fucking can't stand this about this person and that about him, and so forth. So it's not that you necessarily think you're too good for him, but now he doesn't feel good enough for you. Who the fuck is going to be with somebody that you don't feel good enough for? So I wouldn't do that. I would change. You have to change that, because it's not going to benefit you by thinking. It's one thing to put yourself on a pedestal, but it's another thing for you to, because that's where you have to really look and say, okay, maybe I just think I need to just know that who I am as a woman or a man, and that I'm good for them. And I just need to know that I'm good and that I am the perfect person, that I'm perfect, right? So you can think you're perfect, but they're also good enough for you. Like, they're everything I've wanted. They're everything I want. He literally checks all the boxes. He's everything that I want, right? Because then now he will feel differently. They will feel very differently and say, okay, yeah, I am good enough. Because that's the number one reason they won't want to be with you, if they don't feel like they're good enough for you. So just in your mind, that's the part. In your mind, say all the things you like about him. All the things that make him good enough for you. Because when you do that, then they will start to shift how they feel towards you. Yeah. Because it is one thing to think you're amazing and that you're perfect. Because every single one of you should think you're amazing and perfect. But it is another thing for them to feel like they're not good enough for you. And I've heard that a lot. And you have to think in your relationship, oftentimes it's you complaining about them in your mind, about things that they're doing, things that they're saying, all of these things. But at the same time, us women tend to oftentimes think we're not good enough for them. So then it kind of surprises you when they say it to you, and you're just like, wait, what? Because you'd complained about them. And again, this is thought transmission, right? This is how thought transmission works. Is they're not necessarily hearing that shit in the mind, right? Like, you're not like, this motherfucker is such a loser. Like, he needs to get his shit together. He needs to get his life together. And like, he's just never giving me affection. He's just not giving me what it is that I need. Like, it's not like they're hearing that, right? But at the same time, they're getting the sense that they're just not good enough for you. And oftentimes you'll ask them, why do you feel like you're not good enough for me? And they'll be like, I don't know. I just do. That's why. A lot of times, things that they'll tell you, they don't even know why they're saying that. I don't know. It's just how I feel. Yeah, of course they don't know, because it's not them. It's you. It's you. So that's where I want all of you guys to get to do a seance tonight for yourself. Sit in the middle of a circle. I'm just kidding. Don't fucking light your houses on fire. But we're going to do so. I gotta think about it. I have to remember I had a good one last night. I should have wrote that shit down. I had a good one last night that we were gonna do it to take Philip. Well, you know. Or you could just be a master manifester like I am, bitch, because guess what? The sun is out. I had to do a double take. Okay. Evelina, so if we feel like we have been locked in but don't see any movement by 72 hours, doesn't mean we're doing something. No. It does not mean you're doing something wrong. Do not create that assumption. Okay? Do not create that assumption. Someone simply asked, and that was based on my experience. Okay? It's based on my experience. That's all that is. Okay? And anything I teach is based on my experience or what I've experienced with clients. That's it. I won't teach based on a fucking YouTube video I came across. Okay. But it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. What it would mean is, but this is why I say you have to, every day, you should take an assessment of things. Because even though you think you're locked in, you don't realize that there's other things that you're doing that are alluding to the opposite. Okay. So like, okay, I'm completely locked in. I'm not going to waver. I'm not going to check. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm locked in. But then you wake up tomorrow and you wake up in the morning and you go to look at your phone. But you know why you're looking at your phone? You're not looking at your phone to get on Instagram. Okay. All of a sudden you're going through your texts. You're like, and then later on, you're like, but what are the thoughts necessarily that you're having there? Okay. Because remember, you don't check something without having a thought about it first. Okay. And then what's your thought when you don't see the text? What's your thought throughout the day? Yeah, you have to take a look at it. Because shall you see movement very quickly? Yeah, you should. But but exactly that. Oftentimes we check the time. So that's where I said, the only time I locked it, like committed locking in, where I verbally was like, that's it. I'm fucking done. I'm locked in. I'm not, I didn't even say locked in. It's like, I'm just not going to waver. That's it. I'm not wavering on this. It was only the last step of my manifestation. That was the only time I said that. And that was because that was the only one I wavered from. I never was like every day, like, okay, I'm locked in today. I'm locked in today about a fucking text. I didn't do any of that. I didn't look at my phone. I didn't do any of that. I didn't question shit. I wasn't like wanting to go to I don't know. I wasn't wanting to do none of that shit. I wasn't like, let me message him on Instagram. Like none of that. None of that was happening at all. Let me try to I guess that would be a lie. I was like, I wasn't going to be like, let me try to get his attention. I was like, guess I was like, because I did go to the pool all the time. But it wasn't, okay. So I did go to the pool all the time, but it wasn't to try to get his attention. Okay. Oh, check that shit out, guys. It wasn't like to try to get his attention. It was, let me show his ass. Let me remind him who I am type of thing. Right. Like, let me just remind him what he's missing. That was why I went to the pool. It was, again, on some petty shit. Okay. It wasn't like, if I don't go, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't any of that. And before that, I loved going to the pool. It's literally how I met him. Okay. So it wasn't like I never went to the pool and then decided this was the time. I always went to the pool before that. And so what was how we started talking the first time, should I say? It wasn't how I met him. But I was always that person that everybody knew every weekend. Jen was at the pool. It's always been that way. Not anymore. Because he prefers me albino. And it's not good for my skin. Unless I decide it is. But I was that person. But when I was doing all the things and manifesting back in steps, I was not checking for shit. I was not in my thoughts about it. I just did. I wasn't like, well, how many times do I have to do this? Am I doing it too much? Like, am I doing it right? Like, is it going to work? I didn't do none of that shit. I literally just did it. Like singing a fucking song. I just did it all day long. Like as often as I could, I just did it. I didn't think about it. I didn't question it. I wasn't overanalyzing it, psychoanalyzing. Well, what word should I use? Am I supposed to do it this way? I was just like, this is what we're going to do. Okay, let's go. And I just started doing it. I put in my earbuds. I listened to YouTube videos. I wouldn't listen to them. I let them play. Couldn't do music. I couldn't do music because I already knew if I did music, I would start singing. The only things on my playlist are songs I sing to. So that fucking wouldn't work. So I listened to YouTube videos I'd heard a million times. And I would let those play while I would affirm. Over and over and over again. I had video, as I tell you, sometimes you guys are welcome to say my videos. I have those as daily reminder. I would play those to keep my thoughts in check while I affirmed. To discipline my mind. But I wasn't checking every fucking waking hour that I got. At all. And then I gave positive meaning to everything. Like literally to everything. Okay. It was like the most mundane things. I wouldn't be like, what does that mean? I decided what the fuck that meant. I'm dead serious. You guys know my story. I would like had my lounge chair angled a certain direction, right? So that he could see me no matter where he was at. And so whenever he would leave his place, sometimes I'd pack it up after that. I was like, well, he's not going to be back. So I'm out of here. I'm just kidding. Actually, I would stay. But when I would see him leave his apartment, because he's on the second floor, and he would go down the stairs, he would look forward. And then he would look forward when he was getting to the stairs. And then he would look forward as he was going down the stairs and then look down the stairs. That man could have been looking at the fucking tree for all I know. But that's not what I said. I was like, of course he's looking at me. Why wouldn't he? Of course he's looking at me. Bye, honey. I would literally, that was I guess as delusional as I got. Where everything was a goddamn everything had only the meaning that I wanted it to. I didn't give anything another fucking chance. Nothing. The guy slept alone every night as far as I was fucking concerned. Yeah. So he had a 2-beddy. The guy slept alone as far as I was concerned. Yep. Why on earth would I want to think the opposite? That's not going to benefit me. Right? Yep. All he does is stay in his room the whole time. Yep. That benefited me. Went to Costco 55,000 times a month. I don't give a shit. That's how many times he went. I controlled my narrative for every fucking thing, for everything. I only had the narrative I wanted it to have. I didn't think, well, realistically speaking, I think this is what's happening. Because I was like, if you're going to think what's happening, well, then I'm going to think only what the fuck I want to think. Yeah, he's crying every second of the day. Man, that guy is so goddamn emotional. He cannot stop crying because he misses me so much. Whatever you got to tell yourself. Whatever you have to tell yourself to suit your own agenda is what you do. And that's what you have to remember is the thoughts that I'm having regarding the situation, my SP, whatever, does this benefit my agenda? If the answer to that shit is no, it has no place in your fucking mind if it doesn't benefit you. Nope. Completely delusional. I don't give a shit what you see. Because like I said, I told you guys, I did things very many times. I'd walk by, purposely and not purposely. Because I get winded walking up a goddamn hill. So there's a walk path that doesn't have the hill. If I would have walked around, well, there's fucking hills. I'm trying to do all that shit. Not trying to do all that. So instead, I walked through the walk path because it had a nice view. Plus I got to see all my birds because they were all signs. It had a nice view and there was no goddamn hill, but it was short. It was it wasn't long either. So I walked back and forth that shit like 5 million times. And it happened to be right in front of his place. But I would do all that stuff, which you guys would have been triggered if, God forbid, you see both of them walk out the house together. None of that bothered me. Because in here, I only saw what I wanted to see. I only believed what I wanted to believe. I did not ever fill in the blank of something that would not benefit me. Did I do that at first? Yeah. Because I didn't know what I didn't know. But when I learned and reverse engineered and realized my thoughts controlled all this shit, oh yeah, well now let me leverage. If my thoughts control everything, well then let me leverage 100% of my thoughts. And I'm only going to think, and I'm only going to give I'm going to control the narrative. I'm going to tell myself whatever the fuck I want to tell myself. Because it made me feel good. We'll start with the obvious. It makes you feel good, right? It's like, yeah. Like what? No. He's going to Costco. You know, he does have to wipe his ass. Maybe feel better. Is that where they went? I don't fucking know. But it made me feel better. Every time he walked outside, every time he left his place, every time he went on his balcony and I could see his eyes peek over, I was like, I would purposely turn over. Was he looking at me? I don't know. I mean, you know. But that's what I told myself. All the time. All the time. I would say like, to the point where I would be like, when I would go to the pool, I'm like, of course he's going to open up his blinds today. Would the blinds open? Was it to look at me? I don't know. Didn't matter to me. Because to me, you're damn right that's what it meant. That's what I'm talking about. And also, did they open every time? Yes. Not at first, obviously, because I wasn't doing this at first, right? But when I realized that I'm in control of my thoughts or what's creating, then I started to leverage that. Which is why wear the yellow shirt, which is why we got back in contact, which is why the blinds started opening every day, which is why, you see what I'm saying? Which is why all these things started happening, because I started to leverage 100% of my thoughts. Yeah, I took leverage to a whole nother level. That's where I was like, I'm going to teach you guys how to leverage every fucking thing, because if you can leverage whatever you want and you can leverage 100% of your thoughts, that's just going to speed right on up. And it's fun to do that too. It's fun to do that because who the fuck wants to sit here all day long and be like, I think that, I wonder if they're talking to somebody else. Are they talking to somebody else? Like, what are they doing right now? I wonder if they're hanging out with somebody else. They're not even probably thinking about me. And they just like, I think they fucking hate me. And he just isn't talking to me. He wants nothing to do with it. How the fuck is that making you feel? Versus saying, no, actually, everything he does. Oh, I said this one too. I said, everywhere he goes and everyone, no matter where he goes, no matter who he's with, all he can do is think about me. Everything reminds him of me. Everything. You see a fucking tree, it reminds him of me. Yeah. Every fucking thing reminds him of me. Say whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but when you can discipline your mind and leverage all your thoughts, then guess what? You become unstoppable. I want someone to hire, but he thinks I'm too slow. What to do? Look, poor Tebs, you need to be like, I get any job I want. Any job I want, I get. I get any job I want. I get any job I want. Right? If he thinks you're too slow, you'd be like, No, that man thinks I'm the fastest bitch in the world. He can't even keep up. He thinks I'm so fast. He's giving me that job. Doesn't even matter. You don't even have to acknowledge what he said. You can literally just be like, no, he's giving me that job. He's giving me that job. He's giving me that job. Yeah. Yo. Look at that. Sade Cachet. Yo, Jen. I love that. I said you're texting me right now, and they both did. Of course they did, because you're a bad bitch. I wish somebody would try to attest that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But if ironically enough, the people that say I don't know what I'm talking about don't have their manifestation. So, there's that. I affirm that I'm the only one in his heart and mind, and I'm chosen, but her ex keeps popping in my head. Now I'm worried I focused on gutter trash. Nope. Don't worry about it. Okay. So you affirm that you're the only one in his heart and mind, and you are chosen, but yes, and she can. I affirm that me and Sanchi will be on the lives, but we have and I think Mina's that way too. They'll be on the lives, but we have a texting communication instead of commenting on the live. Okay, so I love you, Sanchi. A heart, mind, I'm chosen, but her ex keeps popping up. Okay, it doesn't matter. So if her ex keeps popping up in your head, like you just flip that thought. Okay, flip that thought. So you can't affirm over it. This is what I learned. Okay, is you can't affirm over it. So instead, if the ex pops in the mind, then for me, what I would do is I would just like 3 to 5 times or until she goes away, is say, no, he hates her, she's gone away. He hates her, she's gone away. Or she's gone away. No, he hates her, she's gone away. Because last thing you want to do is bring her back. Okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. Because that's again, this is not going to help and benefit you, is it? It's not going to help and benefit you worrying about the ex. And if she keeps popping in your head that you're fucking some shit up. No, that's not going to benefit you, because you have to remember this. All of you need to remember, whatever you fucking tell yourself, you will be right. 100% of the time, you'll be right. What do you want to be right about? Your subconscious mind has one job, and that is to prove you right. It is not, your subconscious mind does not have the ability to decide or have an opinion. So it is not like, wait a minute, hold on. This is negative. So I don't think we're going to prove you right on that. However, only positive vibes only here. It doesn't do that. Okay. It has one job, and that is to take you at your word and prove you right. So if you're sitting here saying, I ruined things, you're right. I fuck shit up, you're right. It's not working, you're right. There's no movement, you're right. He's not conforming, you're right. He's an avoidant, you're right. We're in no contact, you're right. Do you understand what I'm saying? It has one job, to prove you right. So what are you asking your subconscious mind constantly to prove you right about? Are you asking it to constantly prove you right about everything you don't want? Or are you asking it to constantly prove you right about everything you fucking do want? And look, this is exactly my point when it comes to, I'm probably completely butchering her name, Sade Cachet, right? Thanks, Ellie girlfriend. She said, you're texting me right now, and they both did. But then what did she say? She said, I said it, and I went on about my fucking day. She might not have added the F-bomb. That was me. She went on her day. She didn't think about it again. She didn't suffocate it. She didn't worry about it. She didn't question it. She didn't check. She didn't do none of that shit. And they both did exactly what she wanted, because she didn't overthink it. She just threw it out there. She just said it and went on with her day. That's what you need to do. Just like you just said, he's an asshole and went on about your day too. And guess what? He turned out to be a fucking asshole. Just like you thought, I don't know, I think he might break up with me. And then sure enough, and you went on, and what did you do? Went on throughout your day. And then what did he do? Break up with you. Thanks, Lisa, with the butterfly girlfriend. Okay. That's what you have to remember. That's what you have to remember. And that is your challenge today. That is your challenge today. To stop overthinking everything. Say something. Go about your day. Move on. Move on. Go about your day. And then watch it happen. Because you didn't get it all up in here. Because this is what fucks you up. Your subconscious mind is your best friend and your worst enemy in the same fucking breath. In the same breath. Stop doing that. Hold your questions because we're going to do our little technique-nickies. Did I take a picture of that? I'm pretty sure I did not. Because I'm ridiculous about it. I can only see the first half of that message, girlfriend. But yes, that's exactly right. So someone asked, is that why when you go and hire a psychic, is that why what they say pushes out? Yeah, oftentimes that is it. Because you said it, and then you didn't think of, well, either way, they'll say something, you'll think about what they said, and then you don't think about it again. And then they're right. Oh, 1000%. If you're calling a psychic or a tarot card reader or any of that stuff, that is a 1000% doubt. Because you're looking for them to validate something that and the only reason why you're going to them is because you don't know. Because last time I checked, if I knew me and my boyfriend were getting back together, why do I need to ask a psychic? Do you know what I mean? And none of you guys better be asking a fucking psychic today because it's a full moon. M. White the blonde. That's because he doesn't want you to know the answer, bitch. He doesn't want you to know the answer. Look at that. Snaps for Max. They broke up yesterday. And amen for you to acknowledge. You absolutely did that. See how powerful we are? It gives me, honestly, I just got goosebumps because it gives me goosebumps to see you guys wholeheartedly owning and stepping into your fucking power. Yeah. Instead of just listening to people talk and then being like a podcast or whatever, and then going about your day, is to actually be like, yeah, okay, let's actually implement this shit. And then when it happens, then you're like, yes. Oh, I mean, I'm so sorry to hear that. Is that, oh, I'm so sorry. But I really have to go to the bathroom. So pin this real quick. And then you go to the bathroom and you're like, those are the best ones. What do I do in the 3D to make it true on my day-to-day? I embody the new identity, but what do I do in the 3D? It depends on what new identity. Oh. If you're referring to your identity of yourself, Daisy, then what do you do in the 3D to make it true on your day to day? You act as that person. You act as that person, right? So, like, if you're confident, you're not going to go walking around like, yeah, I'm a bad bitch and you are a piece of shit, right? Like, you wouldn't do that. But what you would do is carry yourself differently, walk around like you're a bad bitch. Does that make sense? Like, secure, you just would own that identity. It's not something that you have to like do. It's not necessarily something you have to do in the 3D, because if you were owning, look at it this way, if you were owning that identity, you wouldn't have to do anything in the 3D. You wouldn't have to do anything, because when you embody something, you embody it. There's no effort required, right? There's no effort required. There's no trying to do that, at all. When you embody confidence, you don't have to wake up in the day and like, how do I go and show that shit to the world today? Right? No, you just are that person. So there would be no effort required when it comes to any of that. It would just naturally happen. Oh, are you talking about okay. Yeah, I'm going to get into the techniques, Daisy, but are you talking about you're embodying the identity of the person who is with your husband again? Is that what you're referring to? Because if that, oh, okay, got it. So if that's the case, then you would do, well, when you're married, what are you doing throughout your day? When your husband's home? Well, that's not what you're doing now, right? I don't think you're walking around like, how do you embody the identity of somebody who's married? You just act married. Yeah, I'm not saying you're going to go around talking to the coworkers about the husband, all lovey-dovey and all the things like that. But when you go home, like when you wake up, you guys have pictures, I'm assuming, because he's your husband, right? And you didn't take all those pictures and just throw them in the trash can. So you still have his picture. So when you wake up, be like, good morning, honey. Hope you have a good day. Same thing you would say to your husband, right? And kiss his picture if you want to. So then you would do that. You would continue to do everything that you're doing as if husband is home. As if husband is home. And then when you wake up or when you go to bed, whatever you would do with your husband, do it as if he's there. I don't think you need to do anything else. What the fuck are you trying to do, girlfriend? I mean, I guess there's other things you could do, but I think that that's perfect. I think what you're doing is perfect, because that's what I do, is I kiss his picture and say, good morning, good night. And then sometimes if I like would be sitting on the couch and I see his picture, I would just be like, you're so cute. But it's just my personality. What the fuck is an O method? Okay, Jillian, I'll answer your question as soon as we do the things, because sometimes you guys will hit me with what do you think about this? I'm like, I don't fucking have an opinion. Oh. Oh man. That was a good but that is so funny because I was thank you. That's so funny because I was literally like about to say that when you were talking about how do I step in and embody the identity, I mean, I was like, well, there's other ways I can think of, but that was one of them. But it's a method. Interesting. Everything's a method, guys. Everything's a method. Oh man. That was good. That was great. That was great. Well, Daisy, continue to do exactly what you're doing. Ain't no shame in the game, sister. Oh man, that was fucking hilarious. It was hilarious. And I honestly did not know that was, I guess I can see, hey, Queen. I guess I could see why they would call it the O method, right? It might not be socially acceptable to, call it, to call it what it actually is. Oh man, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Ain't no shame in the game. At least we have things for that. You know what I'm saying? All guys got is, we were talking about this the other day. All guys have is their hands or a doll. Anyway. Yeah, Daisy, that's what they're banking on. When people are desperate, they're gonna come across some crazy shit. Jackie. Yeah, the O method is definitely to be done in private. That is one of those behind the scenes moments that we were referring to, you know. So let that be a perfect example. Is you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes, so your job is not to question anything. Anything. Because they also don't know what's going on behind your scene either. Some of you guys are funny because when you're in contact with your SPs, you guys would be like, my SP walked in as I'm totally listening to my affirmations. They have to be like, hi, honey. I was like, that used to be me. My boyfriend would walk in and I would be like listening to like YouTube videos or wherever, and I'd have to be like, hey. Oh man. Daisy. Yeah. Oh. That was fucking hilarious. Somebody said, did the O method work? And Daisy said, coming soon. Oh man. That was by far, Daisy. That was hilarious. Oh my God. That was like the best response anyone could have given. Especially how she spelled it. Oh, oh man. That was Daisy, you just made my day. That fucking shit is amazing. I know. That shit was hilarious. But you already know exactly what I'm going to be doing. Sorry, kitty cat. If you thought we were having a call during calls today, I'm busy, bitch. I'm going to go do some research and I want to watch a video on what the O method is. I mean, now that I know the logistics, I want to see someone. I want to see someone explain the process. Because it's like, they come back after that, man. Oh man, I'm telling you, this shit is this shit is hilarious. Oh man. That's it. Tomorrow you guys are gonna jump on. I'm like, all right, guys, so we're here to discuss the O method. I stand by this method. It's been tested. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. That was hilarious. God, I laughed so hard my fucking head hurts. All right, we completely digressed, but we did not digress. I feel like we really came into something here. We're going to combine things now, right? We're going to blend. We're going to blend. I'm like, well, maybe after I do my little research, maybe the O method is what we'll do for in honor of the full moon. In honor of the full moon. The O method. Brandy. The next masterclass. It's going to be an experience of a lifetime. Oh man. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Everyone's full moon night experience can be amazing. It can be amazing. Oh man. That was the best. I mean, Patriot vibe, obviously that doesn't apply to you. Or James. Or James. Oh man. Oh man. You guys are killing me. All right. So get your SP's photos out. That shit was so hilarious. I had no idea that was a thing. Man, what they won't come up with. What they won't come up with. The next method. We should set out to find a method. Mm-hmm. Let's blend some things together. Taylor Morgan, have you tried the O method? Oh, man. I've seen Jesus talked about it a lot. Oh man, that shit is hilarious. Okay. Oh God, you guys know I hurt myself right here. God, I cannot be laughing like that. But that's okay because like I said, look, that shit, I could barely even move it yesterday, and now it's all it takes. It's all it takes. All right, so get your SP's photos out. I am. Oh man, Jackie, I am. It's probably the most exciting. That's right. Ah. Oh man, I just think that that's probably the most exciting method. Anytime I hear the word method, I'm like, what the fuck is that? What method is there now? That's probably one of the most exciting methods I've ever heard of. And now I'm going, kitty cat gets like, damn. I was like, thought you were getting a call, sis. Nope. I gotta go look at the O method now. I'm just kidding. I'll call you. That's what I got the rest of the night for. It is a full moon after all, you know? So, okay. So get your photos out. We're going to start doing the cord cutting. But in case you are new here, this obviously is not where we talk about, you know, the O method all day long. I learned about it 15 seconds ago. But we have a good ass time here. That's what we do. We have a good time here because we're all family on this live channel. Okay? I can't speak on everybody else's. That's what we are here. Hey, my name is Jen. I'm your manifestation bestie, where I teach you how to leverage the law of your law of assumption to work in your favor. I obviously know that sounds good to you, so click that follow button, subscribe, wherever. If you're interested in having me manifest your SP for you, or you want to work with me one-on-one to figure out where you're going wrong with your SP so you can get it right, all links are in my bio or description. I have access to a WhatsApp community, text coaching, guided meditations, hypnosis recordings, all the things to try and help you get out of your own fucking way. Because that's what this is about. Okay. Also, I manifested my SP back from no contact to living with me in about 4 weeks. So I'm here to help you do the same. Every day on my life, people are getting movement. That's just what we do here. Okay. So, the testimonials I have, don't compare to people who have been teaching this shit for years when what I've accomplished in less than 90 days. About 90 days. Can't say 90 days forever. I don't fucking know. Short amount of time. 2026. We'll just start there. Oh man. Mima, you missed all the talk about the O method we were just talking about. Because I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to have you guys do for the full moon. But I think we're on to one. So, anyway. All right. Now everyone sit back and close your eyes. I love this for you, Betty. I want you guys to take 3 deep breaths in and out. Now I want you to imagine that you're in an amphitheater here. It's dark. You're alone. You're sitting in the middle of this amphitheater. And in front of you is a giant stage. And on this stage, there's a single stage light that goes from the ceiling of the stage down to the center of the stage. Now I want you to shift your focus to the stage light itself. And as you look in the stage light, you start to realize that you're not alone. In fact, off in the distance, in the back of the stage, out of the light, you notice a dark, shadowy figure. And as you shift your focus from the stage light to the shadowy figure, you start to realize that that person is your SP. Now, I want you to call your SP, say their name, call them into the light, into the center of the stage. Do that now. Now, as your SP begins to walk into the light, into the center of the stage, you start to notice their facial features, their physical features. You also notice a gold cord that runs from the center of their third eye directly into your third eye. Now, I want you to look at your SP. And I want you to ask your SP these two questions, and I want you to hear them respond. If you cannot hear their voice, that's okay. If you can, that's great. I want you to ask your SP right now, do you support me? Hear them tell you yes. Now ask your SP, do you love me? Also hear them tell you yes. Now I want you to say these 4 phrases to your SP. This time, you're not going to hear them respond, and that's okay. I want you to look at your SP in their eyes, and I want you to tell them, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Now I want you to reach up with your hands as if it's a pair of scissors. And I want you to cut the gold cord that runs directly from your third eye only. And as that cord begins to fall to the floor, I want you to reach up with your other hand and grab the roots of that gold cord and pull them out of your third eye and just toss them aside. And as the gold cord continues to fall to the floor, your SP starts to float away like a giant balloon. And they get farther and farther, and they get smaller and smaller, and they get farther and farther and smaller and smaller, and they get farther and farther and smaller and smaller until they just disappear. Now take another deep breath in and out and open your eyes. Alrighty. Now, in case you're new here, I forgot I didn't realize why you were doing this. I didn't tell you why. This is cutting the old energy with your SP. Okay, the reality is now that you cut the old energy with your SP, now there's fresh energy, new energy, amazing energy. And because of that, they will think about you. In fact, they're thinking about you now. At some point, very quickly, at any time, they will think about you. This time, when they think about you, it will be a different thought. It will be something is different, but you will pop in their mind. I did this for the first time with an ex. I was not manifesting him back. This was like, we hadn't talked in 8 years. I was just trying to clear my energy. And so I cut the energy cord with my ex. He called me 8 years later, 72 hours after I did this, said, hey, what's up? I was just thinking about you. We talked for a second. I was like, yee, we'll just keep the energy intact. So you can do this with anyone in your life. I suggest you start with those immediately in your life. So it would be your family or your friends, your daughter, okay? And then branching out to anybody, because anybody you've ever came in contact with, even if you no longer speak to them, it does not matter. They're still connected to your energy. So I suggest you start with the negative people, poor temps. Start with the negative people in your life. The people that, you can do this as often as you want, Sanchi. The people who are energy vampires. Okay, because this is why sometimes you'll feel great one day and then tomorrow you'll be like, I am fucking exhausted. This is why. Because they're all attached to your energy. So we want to cut it with these suckers instead of the positive people first. Okay. And really, you don't need to cut it with the positive people necessarily. But I do it with my daughter all the time. Why? Because, sometimes we have disagreements. And that's only because children these days don't think they're growing up with parents. Hey, Elle. They don't think they're growing up with parents. They think that in today's society, they think they're equals. I was like, well, do we equally pay the bills? I don't think so. I mean, you should see this girl. She's got all these requirements for things. And so I was like, but she's going bowling this weekend. So I'm going to be recording video content, and I am going to be recording the technique one of the techniques I was talking to you guys about, the Ring of Power. I am going to be walking you guys through that, and it'll be in the members only area and the WhatsApp this weekend. Oh yeah. Okay, do I say I love you to your boss? Yes. Yes. When you're those 4 sayings for Ho'oponopono do not change. What's up, Tay girlfriend? Those sayings do not change no matter who you are referring to. Okay? Because you're not necessarily confessing your love to your boss, right? Like, I love you. You're just like, it's like, this is done out of love, right? Because you're never cutting energy because you are being spiteful of anybody, but everybody, you would say the same 4 phrases, doesn't matter who they are. The meaning behind them change. So it's like, for me, when you're doing this with people, it's like, I'm sorry for letting you affect my energy for as long as it has, right? Please forgive me for not releasing this sooner, right? Thank you. Wish you the best. And I love you. Afita stay do. I'm pretty sure that's how you say that. It just sounds really cool. Afita stay. I don't know what the hell that means either. I just think it sounds amazing. Mm-hmm. I went to Italy and I know one word. Usually will tell you, I was very disappointed in Milan, by the way. All right, let's go to the photo method real quick, and then Aspa will get to you, sister. All right, so now you have your SP's photos out. Now here, in case you are new, we do the photo method every day. These 2 methods that we do back to back are designed to get you contact with your SP or anything from your SP. Now, both of them are pinned to my profile they're in my profile on my TikTok. So the one we're going to do now, the photo method, is pinned to the top of my profile. It's got 42,000 views, so save that video, okay? The other one that we just did, the cord cutting, there's a trilogy of me wearing 3 red shirts. It's the first of the 3. All right? All right. So now we have our pictures of our SP out. Okay. Now, we're going to go down memory lane for just one hot little sec. Okay. I want you to go back to the beginning of your relationship, because this has always been about you, not anybody else. Okay? Because you have to evolve. You have to do things differently. You have to change to get your SP back. There is no other way around it. Okay? So, I mean, because you can get your SP back, but they're not going to stay. Okay? So there's a difference. So I want you to go back into your relationship, to a time in your relationship in the very beginning, before you even met your SP, right? Or when you met your SP. That's fine. I want you to remember who you were. Just take a second and remember who you were. Who were you as a person? Who were you? Like, how was your confidence, right? You had some kind of level of confidence, some assurity, some kind of security within yourself, where you were totally fine not being in a relationship. You didn't need to be in a relationship. When you met your SP, some of you still had no interest in being in a relationship, but others of you did, right? You said, oh yeah, it's something I'm interested in, but you didn't need it. You were fine living your life before you met your SP. I want you to go back to the version of who you were in the beginning. Because the reality is throughout your relationship, not only at the end of your relationship did you not recognize your SP because your SP was not the same as he was in the beginning of your relationship, but you also were not the same at the end of your relationship that you were in the beginning of your relationship either. Oftentimes in our relationships, we tend to let our relationship change our identities, also also add insecurities within ourselves. That's not who you are anymore. You now are going to embody the version of you that you were when you first met your SP. Like you're putting on a brand new suit. And those are your identities again. Because that version of you is the one that your SP desired, wanted, was attracted to, wanted to be with, chased, pursued, wanted to talk to you all the time, was constantly spending time with you, would do anything to make you happy. That version of you is who your SP fell in love with. That version of you was their favorite person. It was magnetic. That is now who you are again. Forget the past. The only version of you that exists right now is that version, the version in the beginning of your relationship, the one that was fine, that had confidence within themselves, that loved themselves, that knew exactly who you were as a person. You knew who you were as a person. Your identities weren't defined by somebody else. They were defined by you. You were in control of your life. You didn't need somebody to make you happy. You didn't need somebody to make you feel safe, secure. You didn't need any of that. Well, that is now who you are again. Now, I want you to go to a time in your relationship where everything was absolutely perfect between you and your SP. No complaint department. They were checking all the boxes. I want you now to remember the version of your SP. Who were they at that time for you? What qualities did they possess? Who were they? How do they make you feel? How do they treat you? What are things that they did to validate how they felt about you? Because there was a time in your relationship where you never questioned anything. You didn't question their feelings towards you. You didn't question whether you would hear from them today, whether they were thinking about you, whether they wanted to be with you, whether they wanted to see you. You didn't question any of that. What are the things that they did to make you not question that gave you that validation? Who were they? Well, that version of your SP is now who they are again for you. No other version now matches that at all. At all. There is no version of your SP that exists other than your perfect version. There is no version of you that exists other than pure 100% perfection. That's all you need. Because those versions of you and that version of your SP are the two versions that collided, that fell in love with each other, that were everything, that were so deeply connected, nothing could have torn you apart. Those were the people that fell in love, that spent every second they ever had together, that never questioned for a single second how that person felt about you. Whether you would hear from them today or not. You knew you would, because that's who they were for you. And you also knew who the hell you were. Why wouldn't he contact me? Why wouldn't he talk to me today? He loves to talk to me. You just knew that. Well, that's not who you are again. No versions of you guys from this point forward exist except for you being perfect and them being perfect for you. Now, if you are new here, I want you to put on your crown. If you are not new here, I want you to straighten that shit and straighten it now. Because here we wear our crowns 24/7. We don't ever take our crowns off at all. At all. Okay, we get what we want and we get it when we want it. This is our reality. When kings and queens give a command, do they ever question, doubt, wonder, check if it's going to be fulfilled? No, they don't have to. When queens and kings give a command, they know, they expect. There's nothing to check. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to question. There's nothing to doubt. They just know. They don't think about it again. They give the command, go about their day, and expect it to be done when they say to do it. That's all they have to know. That is all you have to know. Is you now have selected the version of your SP that texted you all the time, that was always spending time with you, that always told you that they loved you and they cared about you. So they're going to do those things. You now have to know and expect them to do exactly that and not think about it anymore, because you don't need to think about something that's true for you over and over and over again. You don't need to do that. Your SP has been sitting there and has done nothing but, ever since you last spoke, your SP has done nothing but think about you. Every time you think about your SP, that is because they are thinking about you. When you're going about your day and all of a sudden they just pop into your mind, that is because they are actively thinking about you. They are looking at your pictures every damn day. They are missing you every second that goes by, which is why they're creeping on your profiles every single day. Even if you don't know they are. They're looking at your photos on their gallery all the time. They're constantly thinking about you. They have written 2,000 text messages to you, trying to figure out the right words to say, wanting to reconnect with you, wanting to talk to you. They have so much to talk about. They miss you every second. They have just been waiting and waiting and waiting for you to give them permission to press that send button. To be that person that you so eagerly want back into your life, to love you, to make you feel special, to commit to you, to be the person that you want. They've been waiting for that moment. It's now time for you to allow them to be that person for you, the person that you deserve. So right now, you're going to give them permission to do that. You're going to give them permission to come and see you. You're going to give them permission to press that send button to talk to you. You're going to give them that permission to treat you like a queen that you are, or the king that you are. And you're going to do it now. Okay? If you are in no contact with your SP, or you're in contact, but it is minimal contact and not consistent, then you're going to look at your SP's photo and you're going to tell them to contact you. Now, you can say you're contacting me, calling me, texting me. It doesn't matter. However they would do it naturally is how they will reach out to you. If you're alone, say it out loud with a little bit of backbone. If you're not alone, say it in your mind. Don't look like a weirdo. Okay? And you're just going to look at their photo and say, you're contacting me right now. You are contacting me right now. You're contacting me right now. You are contacting me right now. Okay? Now, if you're in consistent contact with your SP, then you can say they're contacting you right now, or you're coming to see me today. You're coming to see me today. You're coming to see me today. Haley, you're coming to see me today. Flashy, you're coming to see me today. Okay? Now, if you're in any of the ships, friendship, situationship, relationship, any ship at all, then you're going to look at their photo and you're going to tell them, you can tell them anything that you want. You can tell them they're contacting you today. They're coming to see you today. They're buying you flowers today. They're bringing you flowers today. They're going to rub your feet tonight. They're going to cook you dinner. They're bringing you dinner, whatever they're giving you sexy time tonight. Whatever your pleasure, whatever your fun. That's what they're going to do. Okay? Now you have one job only. One job only. And that is to start knowing and expecting something different. Because you are expecting and knowing one thing or another. You're either knowing they're going to contact you or knowing that they're not. You're either knowing they're going to come see you or knowing that they're not. Okay? Either way, you're expecting something. So it's time now to start expecting what you want. And just know. So you're going to do the photo method and you're going to go about your day. And you're just going to know. Why wouldn't they contact you? Take one hard look at open up your camera, take one hard look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, why wouldn't they? They can't stop thinking about you right now. So I'm going to pause this live while I go to the ladies' room, okay? Now you are going to get busy and you're going to give your commands and expect them to contact you. And we're back. Now, you're going to do what I said. And you're going to expect them to contact you. Yeah, EC and L, you did. That's what happens when you leave. Let that be a lesson to you. Oh, sorry, Evelina. When you're doing the photo method, you can tell them anything that you want. You can say that you're not saying you're not. You're saying you're going to come see me. It depends on your availability. So, like, if you want him to come see you this weekend, you can be, you're coming to see me this weekend. You're coming to see me this weekend. Okay, anything like that. Now, for those of you that are told they're going to come see you, then what you need to do is stop questioning that shit. Okay. So if they you need to stop questioning that stuff. So if they say, I want to come see you this weekend, you got to be like, sweet, go get your outfit ready, go and just plan on them coming to see you. Don't question the shit. Because then all of a sudden some shit's going to show up. I'm busy now. What? No. Okay. Don't sabotage your own manifestation. Now, when they contact you, you are not going to grovel at their feet and be like, oh my God, I'm so excited. No, you're going to keep it natural. Let the conversation flow where it flows. Okay. Do not react. Do not react to shit. Less is more. Less is more. You know, silence is golden. Less is more. This is where these sayings come from. Okay. Oh, sorry. Eileen, sorry for bothering. You never bothered, honey. Can I manifest a whole new biological family? Sure. You know, they always say, I wouldn't say biological family. Okay. We won't go on that whim, but they always, you know, there's that saying like, you don't get to choose your family, but you do get to choose your family. You know, you may not be able to control who your biological parents are, but you get to choose who are parent figures in your life. Okay, you get to choose who your family is. You don't need to settle because they gave life to you. I don't give a fuck. Just because someone gave life to you doesn't mean that they deserve to starve you and treat you like shit. That's not what that means at all. So that doesn't, just because they're your family doesn't mean shit. You can choose who you want to be your family, who you want to be parent figures to you, role models to you, things like that. You can choose that. So thanks, Shanty girlfriend. So all you would do is get clear on what that looks like to you. Okay. So like, what does a perfect family look like to you? What kind of parents would you want in a perfect world? What kind of parents would you want? How would you want them to treat you? If you wanted siblings, what kind of siblings would you want? Get clear on that shit. Siblings are overrated. Just kidding. But if you get clear on the characteristics and the family dynamic you want, then you can tell yourself like, I have the perfect family. I have the perfect family. You may meet somebody at random. Like you could literally be on a subway going somewhere. Every time I mention subway now, I want a sandwich. You could literally be on the subway though, going somewhere and run across somebody who is like, checks all the boxes, would be like a perfect mom figure to you and is like, honey, like, you know, I want to take, you know, why don't you come meet my family? This happened to somebody. There's a big story about it where she on accident, like some lady on accident invited somebody. She thought it was a family member of hers, invited somebody over to her family, over to her home for, I think like Christmas dinner or some shit like that. It was either Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner. She invited what she thought was a family member. It was not a family member, but he showed up. He showed up because he was invited. He has been at her he's now a part of their family. They're like family to him. And he brought his girlfriend and everything. And he's been going to their family dinner for the holidays for, I think it's been a long time now. I think it's been like a decade. It's been a long time where it all started by him getting some random letter in the mail or email or whatever, inviting him over. And he went. And now they're like his family. So I think they recap this, I think every fucking year it's on the news that he came over again and he came over again. Oh, this person came. Yep. They just spent another holiday together. I think that shit is fucking amazing. Amazing. But he manifested that 1000%. So you can tell, like, you wouldn't guess how all of a sudden you got these parenting figures in your life. It's fucking amazing. Makes me like get goosebumps. Good, Jackie. If your SP always called you a queen, well, he's not far off. That's because you are a queen. But you can also, welcome to the family, Daisy sister. You can also say this, guys. one of my clients, that's what she would say to the photo. She would use the photo method and she was like, you're going to text me and you're going to tell me this. You're going to call me this. It was a nickname that he had for her. And she hadn't heard it in a long time from her husband. But she was relentless. And she was like, no, she goes, every time I do the photo method, he contacts me, but he hasn't called me that name yet, but I ain't given up. I ain't fucking given up. He's going to call me that name. Sure enough, he called her that name. If there's a nickname for you, you can tell them you're calling me that name. You're going to call me that. And all of a sudden, but don't be surprised when he calls you that fucking name. That's the fun part. Oh, S, what about two people wanting the same person? It doesn't matter. You will win 100% of the time. It doesn't even matter. You'll win 1,000% of the time. This is your reality. Plus, on top of that, unless they happen to be committed, this is your reality. What you say goes in your reality. What you curate in your reality is you. It's whatever you want. It doesn't matter if two people want the same person, because let's think logically speaking here. Unless your SP is like the ugliest, biggest piece of shit loser on the fucking planet, somebody wants your SP. Like, let's just be honest, right? And I've seen your SPs. They're hot. They're hot. And so are you. So somebody out there also finds your SP attractive, right? Especially with the internet. But somebody also finds you attractive too. You know what I'm saying? So there's constantly going to be more than one person wanting the same person. It doesn't matter. You will win 100% of the time. That's why I always say there is no competition. The only competition in your reality is competition you create. There is actually no competition other than the competition you choose to curate by viewing them as competition or by viewing them as an obstacle. In my reality, I'm the only one that wins. I play chess. I play chess, not checkers, baby. And I am a queen. And the strongest piece on the chessboard is a queen. We all know who created the chess. Ironically enough, though, chess is more like a man's game. This could totally be an assumption, but everything's an assumption. Chess is more like a man's game, but let me tell you, I'm convinced that chess was created by a woman. Or by a man who had a wife that was like, if you don't think for a second you're not going to make me the most powerful piece on the board, bitch, divorce. And he was like, yes, honey, queens rule. But hey, I always tell you, don't take my word for it. Go ahead and take a look at society in general. Who runs countries? Go ahead, I'll wait. That's right, queens. You know why that is? Because queens use logic. Well, for the most part. But they're also dramatic. But queens are petty. I really just want to contact him, and I know he wants me to, but I want him to beg for me back. Okay, Paige. Okay, look, Paige. You're the one. Look, bitch. You're the one that declared 1 month of no contact with your SP. So if you think that for the next 3 weeks, because I know you said yesterday it's already been a week, and you're going insane. So if you think for the next 3 weeks, you're going to come on here every fucking day and tell me how much you want to contact him, but you want to stand your ground. You know he wants you to contact him, but you want to stand your ground. I'm not going to listen to that shit. Fucking contact him. If you want to contact him, contact him. Contacting someone doesn't mean that he wouldn't be like, oh my God, I really want to be with you again. What the fuck does that have anything to do with it? That has nothing to do with it. Okay? So you could contact him, especially since you know that he wants you to contact him. You could contact him and just be like, hey, how's it going? And in your mind, he's going to tell me everything that I want to hear. He's going to tell me everything that I want to hear. Everything that I want to hear. Tell yourself that, and he will. Now, here's the problem I can see with you, Paige, is by you wanting someone to beg for you to take them back, there's nothing wrong with that first, but hear me out. By that being your rationality, I feel like you, in your mind, that gives you carte blanche to react to whatever the fuck you want, to say whatever you want, to be a raging bitch, to do whatever you want because you want him to beg for you to take him back. So therefore you think that you can do whatever you want in this relationship because he's going to continuously beg to want to be with you. That's not going to benefit you and your relationship, because as much as you want him to beg for you to take him back, you're also going and say not talking to him. So you have to find a common ground, and you have to be like, no, why don't we just want to be together? Why don't I just focus on him telling me everything that I want to hear? Fuck begging for me to take him back. Because here's the thing. If I had to choose the latter, would I want somebody to call me and beg for me to take them back, or want somebody to call me and tell me how much they fucking love me, how much they miss me, how much they want to be with me, how much they just can't stop thinking about me, and all the fucking things that I want to hear? That's what I would want. Because somebody can beg for you to take them back and still treat you like shit. That's not what I want. And I know it ain't what you want. Okay? That's right. That's right, Shanzi. You tell her, may the best one win. And as long as you'll stay the path, that will always be you, sis. The only time anyone will beat you in your own reality is if you let them. If you quit. If you quit. That's the only why. Only reason why. You're not giving up, Paige. You are not giving up on your manifestation. Okay? I called my boyfriend. We were in contact, but we weren't talking every day all day. We exchanged a cut, here's my new number. Okay, great. How have you been? I've been great. It was very simple, very platonic, very casual conversation. Was not consistent. We were not talking every day. But I got locked out the pool. And so I was like, oh, fuck it. I was like, and he had the keys because he had the master key. So I was like, fuck it. So I called him. I still got my manifestation. I had nothing to do with caving on my manifestation. In fact, that phone call was everything for me because he was confirming a lot of things. And so therefore, that conversation, I was like, it was a great conversation. Great conversation. Did I beg, plead, grovel? No. I let them take the lead. And then I responded accordingly. But it was a great conversation. And we're amazing. We're amazing. So take it for what it is. Look at all these people. Look at all these people. I want SP to beg for me back, but you guys, I'm begging for you back, but I haven't heard from him at all. Okay, user K26. So the reason you want your SP to beg for you to take him back, but beg for you back, but you haven't heard from him. Do you believe he would? You want this, but do you expect it? When you expect it, he will do. He will do. Okay, now you can sit there and tell them that, though. You're begging for me to take you back right now. You're literally begging for me to take you back. You cannot stop thinking about me. You're begging to take me back, begging for me to take you back right now. You're literally begging for me to take you back. You can do that. Someone asked a good question before. If I'm affirming they'll do anything to be with me, what could I be doing wrong to counteract that? Nothing. Nothing. That's what I said. But then I assigned meaning to everything that alluded to that. Okay, so it's like they'll do anything to be with me. So anytime he would say something, I'd be like, he'll do anything to be with me. Okay, anytime, anything, like listen. How much time do I have? How much fucking time do I have? Hold on, let me browse through these questions real quick before I get into my thoughts. Danielle. Danielle, what are you fucking talking about? Yes, it was a beautiful story. Aspa, you had your SP muted for a while now in order not to spiral. Muted on what? Okay, if it's like you have it muted on social media, should you remove it? No, you don't have to. Like, you don't have to. But I wouldn't worry worry about that. I mean, can you unmute them? Sure. Okay, because you look. One moment, please. I said he'll come see me. Evelina, you let it go. If you said he's going to come and see you, you can choose to let it and forget it. Because that's what I would. Like, you don't need to suffocate it. You don't need to suffocate it, right? Because think when you were dating. If he said he was going to come see you, were you like, I have to tell him 25,000 times or he's not going to come see me? No, you didn't. So test it for yourself. Do both. Because that's one of your tests today. You guys are going to fucking speak into a candle. That's going to help you. Well, good, Jackie. He's going to call you my lovely again. He's calling you my lovely again. Why wouldn't he? You're rather lovely. I mean, I'm just going to say. Okay. Jessica, what made me believe in manifesting? When I started realizing, hey, Welsh, when I started realizing, how did everything become everything? Right? Well, that would be consciously manifesting, should I say, okay? So I went to, my entire background is a subconscious mind, okay? I'm a master NLP practitioner, so my whole experience is a subconscious mind. So, and understanding how that works, which is why, but most manifestation coaches, that is not their background, okay? They don't have a background. And so because of that, they like to give a lot of advice without realizing how the subconscious mind actually works. Okay. But up until now, you're always manifesting just from the subconscious level, which is why you need to know what's subconsciously going on. When you learn about manifesting, now you are consciously creating. There's a difference. But manifestation comes from the subconscious level, which is why you've been doing it your whole life. So you're not consciously creating, if you will, okay? Because your conscious mind is it's the logical, the analytical, the thinker in you. Okay, so if you have to think about anything, that's conscious. Okay, subconscious is if I was to be like, you know. When's the first, how many months into your relationship how many months in your relationship with your SP how many months into your relationship with your SP did you have your first fight? Go. It's the first thing that pops into your head without you thinking about it. That is the actual answer. It's not the one that you thought about. It's the one that randomly pops into your head, the random thought before you have to think about it. That's your subconscious mind. Okay, so when you are consciously creating through robotically affirming, through inner conversations, through things like that, this is why you have to bring logic into manifesting, because in between your conscious mind and subconscious mind, there's a critical factor. It has to get through the critical factor And the critical factor's job is to accept or reject information. But the logical part of your mind is your conscious mind. So it has to make sense to your conscious mind so that it goes into your subconscious mind. So why everybody wants to give you all this woo-woo bullshit, if it doesn't make sense to you consciously, then your subconscious mind rejects the information. But that's what's producing is a subconscious mind. So this is why a lot of times, this is why I tell you guys to just stop thinking about things, stop over analyzing shit, stop doing any of that. Because all you're doing is saying, this doesn't make sense. This isn't logical. So what does your conscious mind do? Reject. But your subconscious is what's producing. So it has to get into your subconscious mind. So you need to tell yourself, this 1000% makes sense. This is completely makes sense. This is going to work. Because it takes your instruction and then boom, into subconscious mind. Okay? That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. But this is where you guys need to seriously understand. Good tag, good tag. Look, SP text during the live yesterday. Good. Trying to hit the ground running. Good. Now here's what you're going to do. You're going to stop thinking about things. I need you guys to just stop. Stop techniques. Stop all the shit. Stop analyzing things. Stop questioning things. Stop trying. Stop trying. From this point forward, there's no trying anymore. We're just going to be. We're just going to do. We're not trying for shit. We don't try, we do. We create. And we create by not trying. Okay, what do you do when you're baking a cake? You put in the ingredients. Do you try? No. You look at the fucking box or the recipe and you add 1 cup of sugar. Sick. Okay, this, that, got it. This, that, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that. You follow the instructions. And then you pop it in the oven. Now, do you sit there the entire time and sit there like, oh my God, I hope it turns into a cake. Oh my God, is it going to turn into a cake? Is this going to work? Is it going to turn into a cake? Shit, it's going to turn into a cake. Oh my God. Is this working? Is this working? Check the oven, check the oven. Is it turning into a cake yet? I'm not sure. No, you don't. You set the fucking timer, you walk away, you go about your day, and then all of a sudden you hear a and then what do? Open it up, pull the lovely cake out, pop a little toothpick in to make sure it's cooked all the way through, and then voila, you're all done. You didn't think about it. You didn't do all that shit. The most thinking you did is figuring out what kind of cake you want to make. Once you figured it out, you looked at the instructions and did. That's all you did. Just like to cause your breakup, you didn't do shit. You weren't over analyzing things, looking for techniques so you can create the breakup, were you? Let me just suffocate it. If I think about it more and more and more, then maybe he'll break up with me. No, you didn't. You just let your thoughts all the way up until now. You let your thoughts run on autopilot. Not thinking about it again. Just when the thought popped up and you moved about your day. And then the thought popped up and moved about your day. And then boom, 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 boom. Creating. So that's your task. You're not going to do a goddamn thing. You're going to just stop everything and you're just going to do. You're just going to say, this is what it takes. She said to do this, this, and this. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to look. I don't need to question. I don't need to doubt. I don't need to focus on the time. She mentioned none of that shit. None of that shit did she mention at all. So I'm not going to do none of that. I'm going to just focus. I'm going to do what I do and I'm going to keep it natural. I'm going to get excited when I say my affirmations because this is supposed to be fun. I want them to come see me. So I'm going to act as if they're coming to see me right now. I'm going to get excited. Because yeah, of course they're going to contact me. Why wouldn't they? I know they miss me. Like, duh. Instead of, I don't think they're, no, get excited. Toot your fucking horn. Toot your horn and say, that's it. No, I'm going to just do, just like I've done the entire time. All I did was do. I didn't give it another option. I didn't think against it. I didn't do none of that shit. I did not try. And I'm not going to try now. I'm going to get excited for my date that's coming up this weekend because I fucking said so. I'm going to get excited about that text that's coming through my phone any fucking second. I'm going to get excited every time I think about them wanting to contact me because of course, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Stop doing this. Stop doing this. Nothing makes anyone different than you other than the fact that they're evolving. You should not be the same person right now. When the first day you hit my live, you should not be the same person you are now. And if you are, that is the problem. That's the problem. Because you're consuming, trying like it's a fucking job instead of just doing. But you should be the same. You should evolve. You should see, I know I am different. I am thinking differently. I'm expecting differently. I am behaving differently. I'm seeing myself differently. I'm seeing my boyfriend differently. And then things will change. But you can't be the same fucking person and expect something different. That makes no fucking sense. You know it makes no sense to do nothing differently, but yeah, and think nothing differently, to do nothing differently, but then, all of a sudden, it's just going to conform. No, it's not. It's not until you decide that I'm going to get a grip and I'm not going to try anymore. Fuck that. I ain't trying for shit. I'm just going to be. And you know what? I'm just going to do what I do. And I'm going to trust myself. And no, I don't need to question shit. I didn't question if my thoughts were going to create my breakup. And here we are. So I'm not going to question if my thoughts are going to create my makeup. Because if they created my breakup, they must create the makeup. There's no difference. They're not like, no, your thoughts can create the breakup, but if you want the makeup, bitch, no. There's a 25-step framework for that shit. No, there's not. No, there's not. There's thoughts. That's it. Because that's all you did up until now. So you ain't got to do a goddamn thing differently. Do you understand? So I need you to get a grip. It is the full moon tonight. You know what you're going to do for the full moon? You're going to say one thing. You're going to forget about it. You ain't going to talk about it again. You're going to look at that full moon. You're going to breathe for a second. And you're going to let it go. Let go of the resistance. And I want you to declare that. I want you to look at the full moon tonight and I want you to say, I am releasing, because that's what they say, to release. I am releasing all resistance that I have to my SP and my manifestation. I am letting it all go. And I'm going to say, I know exactly how my SP feels about me. Say their name. I know exactly how John feels about me. I have no doubt at all that he's coming back, that we are getting back together. I have not a doubt in my mind. And I'm releasing all resistance to him and my manifestation. That's your task. And you're not going to dwell on it. You're not going to think about it again. You're going to do that. You're going to release it. You're going to let it go. And you're going to tell yourself that you know they're coming back. And that's all. And I absolutely know exactly how he feels about me. And that's all I need to fucking know. And you're going to go bring your happy ass back inside, put on a Netflix fucking movie. I don't know. Do some shit. Light some candles. You're supposed to do that on the full moon too. Light some candles. And just breathe, relax. Relax. Do you understand? Why not, Angie? Let them duke it out. Let them duke it out. All right? Now, I'm 2 minutes late to my coaching call, bitches. Okay? But I needed to let you guys know because I need you guys to drop the resistance. And the only way you're going to do that is just by knowing. It's inevitable. It's completely inevitable. I already know this. I don't need the proof. What proof? The proof will come. You won't need it. You won't need to look. They'll contact you. Yeah, user K26. You can do text coaching. I did fix the order form, by the way, in case you were getting two conflicting prices. I don't know why that happened. Trump, do you want? I don't know what you're talking about, Max. Ahmed. You stop spiraling by disciplining your mind. So this is the last question because I got to go. Simply Precious, if you're spiraling, then what you need to do is that if you should never be spiraling, because if you had one negative thought, fine. If you had a couple negative thoughts, fine. But you should be changing This is where robotic affirming comes in, is pick 2 to 3 affirmations that are your safety net. So if you're spiraling, it's like, no, I know exactly how he feels about me. I know I'm the love of his life. I know he'll do anything to be with me right now. I know he'll do anything to be with me now. I know he'll do anything to be with me right now. Okay. Their spiraling is not a thing. It's not a thing. Spiraling means that you are lacking discipline, that you are not controlling your mind. That's all that means. And we call it spiraling. The fuck that means? No. It's called get a grip. And I love that a lot of you guys have an inner talk with your fucking bestie where you literally will tell yourselves, Jesus Christ, Jacqueline, get a grip. Get a fucking grip, bitch. Yeah, tell yourself that. You're spiraling, tell yourself, get a fucking grip, bitch. And then go into your mind. Do you understand? All right. I love each and every one of you, of course, and I will see you all tomorrow. I will post in the WhatsApp a reminder of what you're to do tonight on the full fucking moon, if you know what I'm saying. And then I'm also going to figure out how to best do the techniques I can post in the members community in WhatsApp, so you guys will have the step into your power. I need you guys to step into your fucking power. Okay? And then I'm going to go through this weekend and spend a little bit of time to see what other kind of fun little subconscious shit we can do to get you out of your own way. You understand? All right, guys. And we're going to start our challenge because it's the full moon. What a good day to start a challenge. Oh, and it's the first. The stars are aligning in the spiritual world. We're going to do a challenge today. Okay? Starting the challenge on the full moon. Oh, right. All right, guys. No, it's not going to be a 10K affirmation challenge. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Who the fuck was counting 10K? Come on now. Let's be honest. Okay. I love you all, and I will see you all tomorrow.